Yo, hello folks. What is up? We are going to get started here very shortly. I'm going to find a talk show area to come and host the stream in. Wanted to have a little bit more of a calm conversation. I think that's a good thing to do. We'll get set up here in just a moment. Give us a few minutes, folks. Feel free to chill and relax. I'll talk to you guys while I'm setting things up, just to keep you entertained. Let's see. I haven't logged into VR chat in weeks. I haven't logged into VR chat in weeks. Oh, let me see. All right, I'll do an invite. There we go. How's it going, folks? It's been a while. Let folks know we are on the air. Looks like there's been several updates to VR chat since last I logged on. Ottawatsky, hello. Tired? I get that. I get that. Oh my goodness, I get that so much. Getting stuff set up here. We're going to borrow VR Chats After Dark locale, which I think this is a great place to set stuff up. So let me see how I'm going to do this. And that's going to... There we go. Hopefully this will do pretty good. There we go. I'm thinking that might actually work. Let's see, we'll bring on Eric. I think Eric is online. And there we go. Have ourselves a little bit of a chatting session, eh? All right. I got a couple things that I want to discuss too, but as soon as I bring Eric on in here, we'll get started. Let's see. Where did he go? Where did he go? There he is. We'll send an invite. All right, and then for those of people who are online, there's going to be some rule changes when it comes to streams. By the way, there's going to be some rule changes when it comes to streams. In the future, I might say community days are going to be subscriber only, and I hate saying that, but it's meant to be kind of a patience thing. All right, there we go. Hello, Eric. Come on in. I sent you the invite into VR chat. As soon as you enter into the world, let me know. Your title screen is on. Yes, that I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this. So I'm getting stuff set up, hon. All right. I found a nice little talk show area that I think is going to be like super cozy and comfy. Got myself a nice little chair. There's a chair here for you too. This is so funny. My goodness. I was gonna see about setting up like multiple camera feeds. Actually, they can set multiple cameras, but I'm gonna only set up one camera. Can't use chairs. You're more than welcome to stand on the chair if you want. I think you're short enough to do that. All right, let's get going here. And hopefully it's working. There we go. Hello, folks. I'll bring my boyfriend Eric on in. there's a lot of things we want to discuss. So I hope you guys are having a good time. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Oh, my goodness. Anywho. What's that?
Oh, I had to fix it. Oh, your video feed audio I have to turn off.
Oh, okay, so you don't get...
These photos?
These photos are so weird, aren't they?
Yeah, I still like the cabin with the cursed AI images of toilets and snow. That is still my favorite. Alright, so I can scoot on if you want, or I can just be a disembodied voice.
Oh, no, there's a chair right there. The camera's aiming.
Oh, okay, I cannot sit, so I don't know what you want to do.
Oh,
there's your camera.
Yep. So if you go into your menu, there's a sit-stand option that your character will crouch, and you can just sit on the chair or in front of the chair or however you want to do it.
I'm gonna just clip through the chair.
Uh-oh.
So I like hot tub streams.
I'm not clipping through this chair. It seems to work okay, but I don't know about your character.
But you're covered by a desk. Yeah, I'm just gonna look like I'm a ghost. Yeah, you'd have to crop in the shot more. Yeah, I'm clipping through the chair.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
This is awkward. I could be by the band. Wait, I got an idea.
What kind of idea is that?
I'm gonna be Paul. From, late night or whatever.
Okay. Let's see if I can do it this way. There, we have.
I'm kidding. I'll come back.
Are you sure?
I'll come back.
Okay. So actually, this chair that's behind this talk show is pretty much almost the same as like what I got for a chair in real life, or at least really close to it. All right, there.
It looks a little worn.
Yeah. Many a peeps have sat in that area, and we have ourselves like your typical talk show coffee mug. There you go. Sweet.
Yeah, I was wondering if it came with a mug. I didn't get a mug.
Oh, okay.
Also,
you can drink. You can drink from mine then.
Oh, I get to share your germs. How hygienic. That sounds fantastic. I love you.
I love you too. All right.
Oh, the chat's off. Interesting.
Chat's off?
Yeah, if you put your chat on the desk, it won't clip over anybody. Or in the middle. Y'all can be in the center. Hi, Atlas.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Lilo Stitch. Hi, Otto.
I was turning my chat off for a reason, then that way people can focus on it. I wonder what would happen if I put my chat like in the upper middle of the screen. Let me try that. Okay, so we're gonna put a chat box text.
Go for it. You are also part of the action in the stream.
Oh, I can't drag anything in over your toolkit. They won't let me drag anything in over your toolkit. Okay, give me a second here, chat. There we go.
Yeah. You just have to kind of do it off stream. Hey, Shineo. Hello. Shineo, I will be back on, I think, the 19th. Or what is today's date? Next week. I'm waiting for my microphone to come back. I broke it, and then I lost half of it in Minnesota. Your state swallowed... Oh.
There we go.
Your state swallowed my microphone pieces.
No. Yeah, there. I'm trying to, like, see if there's a good, equal way of getting us both in, but
Fly mode is fun.
Yep, it is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be like Romper Room, and I see. You hold up the magic mirror. I see Atlas and Otto and Neo. I don't know if you all know what Romper Room is. I think it was Romper Room. Whoever had the magic mirror. It shows from the 80s.
Nice. Currently programming PHP at the moment. Professional home pages. I think that's what that stands for. Yeah. You're clipping through the chair, but so what? Let's see. What I want to do here is I want to like.
Oh wait! There's a sit function on this.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, I love you, World Maker. Who made this world? Let me see. I did not know that. I guess we are good to go. VR chat after dark, and this is by. I don't. Okay. This is literally their name. Nippleus. 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 Nippleous. Nippleus. Okay, that is literally their name.
Okay, we're gonna sit here and futz with cameras for a while.
If you crop it so that my feet are not showing. Oh wow, I am clipping through the couch. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay, but yeah, I'm trying to. We'll never get a good camera view. I think this is probably gonna.
Perfect. Don't.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the
that's
best.
perfect.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
anchor it
looking at
there.
it in
We'll
your-
anchor it
your
there.
feed.
Okay. I actually have water in real
Yes.
life, which is gonna be right
Me
behind
too.
me.
I have put aside my Thai tea so I do not spill it. I
Yep.
have because I am a klutz.
Walmart, I know you hate Walmart, sells
Yeah.
a water bottle that you can not only click the top, but you can lock it. So I have knocked it over several times, and like its wonderful child-proof self, has not made me fry my equipment.
Oh, jeez.
Justin brought down a $2,500 laptop like he was the guardian of this thing. I paid for his check luggage May of last year. It had its own little what do you call that thing? The cart?
It had its own little hand truck. And he's in a suit.
Probably had sunglasses. He's like the bouncer for this gaming laptop, so I
Yep.
would not be able to wave at you if you weren't able to do what you did.
Try to do the best that I can. Oh my goodness. We got a lot of lovely beans in channel. Let people know we're streaming. So this is going to be kind of a different format. This is more of an experimental format right now. So this is something that I probably want to do in the future. So right now, here's my idea. To have talk shows like this, where I can host it up, or Eric can host it on his channel or whatever. And then we can co-host each other, and then we can invite, like, say, 1 or 2 guests in the future. Just think of, like, you know, Conan O'Brien or Jay Leno or Jimmy Fallon or things like that, except more furry toned. And I know Cooper Tom has done stuff very similar to this too. And we've done you know, radio shows in the past where we've done Radio Universe and we've had guests and we've, you know, played music and all sorts of different stuff. And then
Oh, I'm familiar with that.
but now we can re-engage with this audience participation. So that's why I put your chat up on the wall there so you guys can talk with us and share your thoughts and opinions. Because there's going to be a lot of things that we wanted to discuss that we kind of brought up in the previous nights. You know, things about what's going on with Unity, things about what's going on with the furry fandom, with conventions, with all sorts of stuff. Going up and down that line. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Justin. I'm a variety entertainment streamer. Typically, I stream VR chat, but lately I've been streaming Fortnite. September 30th, I believe we're going to be doing
A lot of Fortnite.
a large Fortnite streamer event where a lot of us are going to get involved for a big old contest. Eric is also a variety entertainment streamer and an absolute sweetheart, my boyfriend. Please go check him out anytime, !, Blue Canary, and channel, and then you'll get a link to his channel as well. Hello, Crystal. How you doing? And thank you for the follow, GeoPro 3002. Let's see.
Oh, you may need to lower your chat. I just realized your notifications are running into it.
I
Hello,
did notice
greetings
that
and
as well.
welcome.
Let's see. I'm getting a bonk. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely need to move your chat.
All right. Let me see if I
I know
can.
I'm wearing a female avatar. I just figured it was more proportional. I do have a new kitty, but I don't know how to use the emotes yet on the face.
That's all good. Let me see the alerts
It's
up
a
the top of the
Tosca
screen
model.
there. There we go. Yeah.
Hey, oh, they're on the couch.
How cushy.
Yeah, very
You
cushy.
guys are balanced.
Yeah. Oh, DFM Stereo, thank you for the lurk. The throw Pokeball only works on desktop mode, unfortunately. It does not work in VR chat, so I apologize. I try to put those little pieces of information in there, desktop only. If we're in VR chat, those
Trying to
redeems do
figure
not
out
work.
where to put my hands.
But that's also why I keep them cheap, so they don't have a huge problem there. Taking a look at the Discord history, the things that we were going to talk about, what was one of the first things I was thinking up?
Oh, I actually wrote things on a post-it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Let me go ahead and grab that. Yeah, I was making notes last night. Yeah, originally I was just had some questions for today, but yeah, it was nice hanging out as well. So one of the things that we
I guess this kind of affects the stream as well is Unity's been interesting lately.
if you're not familiar with Unity, it is a game engine, much like Unreal Engine. But this would not be possible. I could not wave at you if it wasn't for Unity, but they're doing some things right now, and Cult of the Lamb is it's been an interesting what do you call it, leader in the situation. If you want to talk about that, Justin. Hello there in chat, GeoPro 3002.
Yeah. And GeoPro saying shoot. Yeah, one of the redeems doesn't work unless it's in desktop. Yeah, about the Geo stuff, or the Unity stuff, not Geo stuff.
Unity.
Yeah, Unity.
Hi, Gio. You're fine.
Also off topic, happy belated birthday to our friend Alpha Aniki. He's being a heckin'
Oh
sweetheart.
yeah, it's Jonah. Yeah.
I'm
Jonah had a
checking.
birthday thing. Oh my gosh. The can you talk about the cake donation from Nate?
Cake donate. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
apparently, Alpha's birthday didn't have any cake, and Nate was shouting out on the channel and says, "Bitch, I'm gonna go out and DoorDash you a cake," or something like that. That's pretty funny.
I like that.
My goodness.
Cake. And then somebody gave him like a huge donation. Like, man, you're gonna have the best birthday cake ever. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have some gold flakes on that or something for you.
Let's see.
But yeah, Unity is become an interesting subject of discussion lately. So in order to create worlds or even VRChat avatars, you need to use Unity. And both of us use a free version of Unity.
Yeah. Now they're trying to charge
for
per install, and they seem to be backpedaling a lot on what they were talking about.
Yes, it's game install. So for folks like Cult of the Lamb and other indie creators where their livelihood is dependent on Unity, it's going to start taking away from it.
Yeah, going through my tweets here. Apparently the response I gave them. Oh, never mind. Here it is. So this is what Unity had. This is what Unity had posted on Twitter, and it's still Twitter, by the way. Screw you, Musk.
It literally says twitter.com.
Yep.
It forwards from x.com to literally twitter.com, so I see what you're doing there.
Yeah. We want to acknowledge the confusion and frustration we've heard after announced our new runtime fee policy. Runtime fee policy. What the hell is that? We'd like to clarify some of your top questions and concerns. Blah, 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 blah. They go through this whole spiel. And my response to them is, when greed starts to run a business instead of quality customer service, the customers lose faith in that business. I've seen companies go down because of it several times, and I strongly advise focusing on what matters most. So here's what context that people have added to Unity's response. Unity states that only 10% of their customers will be affected, making it sound less bad than it is. As of the Gaming Report in 2022, Unity had 230,000 developers. That's around 23,000 developers affected by the change. Lots of studios have posted statements about moving engines. So, yeah, it's pretty sad. Hey, Vextra.
It is.
Perhaps a good title to your show could be The Lion's Share. That'd be kind of cool.
I do like that. I'm like, that's great.
Well, we'll put that in the notes. See, I honestly don't want to work in the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is literally feast or famine. It's a guppy amongst sharks. It's very difficult.
Entertainment industry, if you're talking about like Hollywood level, it's very competitive. If you're doing more independent stuff, which I really love supporting indie creators, go for it. Like both of us are part of Cleanup Crew, and that entire project is volunteer. Every single person involved, from writers to actors, are volunteers. Kind of like community theater in a way. And I donated some voice work. I spent way too much time editing the audio. Justin got a special outtake that I'm not gonna have in this show because I'm cursing. But yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to just make something because you love it.
Yep. Unity has been like the backbone for a lot of different services that's been used in many Twitch streamers' streams, namely the VR chat services that we've been using for years now, like since day one. The Meep program that Meeps Kitten has made for like dozens of VTubers that a lot of people use is programmed in Unity. And that's going to affect that too. And I'm not sure exactly what Unity was trying to accomplish. I mean, was there a reason to charge these fees? Are they struggling financially? Are they having problems? What's the reason for them to start charging businesses like this? They think they're not making enough money, or what's going on?
I think, okay, so for what they were stipulating was if it's
creators, and I'm going to use creators, not just studios, but creators who have gotten X amount of, they specify what it was.
Right.
If you have received a certain amount in sales as well as downloads within a 12-month period, and you are using the paid version of the service, so like for small projects like what we're doing, such as uploading avatars, that's the free version, but like if you need special features, you're gonna pay for that, kind of like an Adobe subscription.
Yeah.
But that's what they're starting to do. If for what I don't remember the amount that they are requesting, but it feels a little greedy because it's gonna start hitting them because Cult of the Lamb reacted to it, and they will meme everything if they can. But yeah, it's not gonna hit like folks like say Nintendo, which probably has their own game engine. But for indie creators, which Unity, what's the other one? Unreal Engine, and a bunch of other popular ones, it will hit people, and it could potentially affect or stop someone's livelihood. So we're not getting rich off doing like indie game projects. It's great if they take off. You can make other things like merch and art books and whatnot. If you look at Lackadaisy Cats, they are crowdfunding to make something awesome happen. If you look at I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It's Guinea Pig. Oh, it's Guinea Pig Parkour. I don't know if he uses Unity, but he's been working on that project for, 7 years now, and he's just an indie creator, so it feels greedy at this point. Again, I don't remember the amount they were specifying, but it was X amount of downloads for a game that's seeing a profitable return within a 12-month period, and it may shut projects down in the future that may have happened. There was somebody that was working on, I think it was with her husband, somebody was working on a little indie game, and I think it was 6 years of work may just end because of them just wanting a higher profit for something that people just can't afford to do anymore. And I don't want to see it just end things. By the way, hi, Miko girl.
I didn't want to ignore you there in chat.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, such questionable business practices lately, and this can all fall.
Yeah, it is questionable.
It's like capitalism in general. To profit off of hard work, but then to create these secondary means of profit and to affect somebody's livelihood off of it is just it seems so asinine. Losing passion for that. Hate the actors, writers that aren't getting paid. Yeah, we all are. The strike. I support their strike. I support people getting paid to do their work, and it's like you got greedy corporations, and then you have honest hard workers. And then I was taught growing up that hard work, reaps more rewards than somebody just kind of stands idly by. But in the way that I'm seeing society right now and nowadays is that that's exactly the opposite, where people up at the top, they exploit all that hard work and profit off of it. It's like in the current system, and this is just my understanding, is that your hard work doesn't profit you as much as using somebody else's hard work to profit for you.
Yeah, it's the people at the top.
Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, and so messed up that Unity rolled out that news. Yeah, people just want a livable wage. I totally get that. That makes sense, right? I've had numerous discussions about our current financial situations, right? And and I never ask any of my Twitch viewers for bits or subs or donos or anything like that. It is September, 25% off, but I've never forced anybody.
September.
I've never forced anybody
If anybody's feeling generous
to sub, but you guys do help me out. I don't have a house. I don't have children. I have basically just myself and a tiny apartment. That's where I live. I wish I had something bigger. America's on the path to becoming the richest third world country in the world. That is such a statement, and yet how true that is just mind-boggling to me.
Just to touch on Otto's question there. So regarding world makers and avatar creators, no. They are typically using the free version of Unity, and the only thing that's affecting them are like commission work. So like if they're doing it for free or if somebody's doing it for hire, that's the only thing that's affecting them. So VR chat stuff, you're fine. But I will say this on a positive note. So a number of the visual effects folks have worked for, let's say, Marvel movies, and I am going to call you out. Not the
nice conditions. So they have a union now. They have worked out a union deal. I don't know what it's called or going to be called, but something positive is happening, and I'm all for that because y'all deserve better.
Yep. I want to bring up a side subject, something that is kind of related to it. You guys know Keanu Reeves, the actor, who has done.
Oh yeah, he's a wholesome dude.
He's a very wholesome dude, and I think out of all of his roles, there's 3 roles that he's been very prominent in, or at least 4 of them, like Speed and The Matrix and John Wick and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures.
Oh my gosh.
Now, as far as I can recall, like from The Matrix is like a industry redefining movie where it transformed how media represents itself. It was that huge. And as far as I can understand, Keanu Reeves took the majority of his profits that he got from those movies and he paid all the people involved in those movies, like all the electricians and the IT departments and the effects provider, special effects producers and things like that. He basically paid all of the workers the money that he was getting because his humility. I have a huge amount of respect for him. I wish more people would think and feel in the way that he does. And he's just like, a really good dude that you just come across the street and the guy wouldn't, hesitate to have a minute conversation and a cup of coffee with you, right? He's a human being and he acts like one. I love the dude.
He does something interesting. If you take a photo with him,
He poses like this.
Yeah.
He does not want to chance anything where if his hand is not in a photo, somebody could potentially sue him or something like that. So if you take a picture with him, his hands are always in view, which is also something I learned when mascotting. Your hands are always in the photo.
Yep. And it's very important. I've actually seen some photos too where, like, if somebody's wrapping a hand around them, that the hand is visible, but they aren't touching them. It's just,
yes, he'll put them on their shoulders or something. The hands are always on.
It's not something I would actually think about. And to basically just hold yourself like that. I also had this photo that was taken with Johnny Young Bosch, and both his hands were visible in the photo too. Nice. Yeah, I shook his hands. He's really cool guy. No, it's a real dystopian here.
I've hung out with him. He's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was reading chat, Riff Music Pony. No, it's a real dystopian here, especially in LA towards Hollywood and Skid Row. You have people driving out in luxury apartments and homeless encampments on the sidewalk. Why is there such a seesaw of really struggling people and then really rich people? Oh, my goodness. It just feels so imbalanced.
So the cost of living, if you're in LA proper, not just Orange County, LA proper is very high. The taxes by themselves are high. Not a lot of people drive despite the traffic issues that, I forgot the main highway that goes through Los Angeles, so feel free to chime in. But yeah, just the cost of living, not even just groceries, but just the cost of living to be in a place, unless you have like 5 roommates, is insane. So the folks that are working in Hollywood, a lot of them don't make bank. I had to explain to someone on a former job that, yes, if you get an acting gig, that's great. If you get an acting gig, you may not see that for 8 months or more. Like, occasionally, I will get a paid role to do something, but it's so infrequent that, you don't know when your next meal is going to happen, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's why it's nuts. People are just living out of their cars sometimes.
Yep. And, like, the acting industry in general, not just voice actors, but actors in general,
the whole acting industry.
Yep. Only a very small percentage of those actors actually do make it bank and become well known. Mm-hmm. But there is a myriad of actors in the industry that you may not have ever heard of. There's actors in Baldur's Gate 3, very good voice actors, but
oh wow,
I look up their credits on IMDb and they maybe have a dozen credits and I barely know who they are. And as far as I understand, when they work on a project, or get a gig, and they record maybe 5,000 lines of dialogue, the amount of pay that they get is only for maybe 2 to 3 months of rent, and that's it.
Yeah,
they have to...
yeah, it's true. The other, oh god, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest acting gigs that are unfortunately nameless
Are being background actors, just filling in the scene because you need people in, let's say, a coffee shop, walking on a sidewalk. There's somebody on Twitter talking about walking with their dog, and they're just a background actor. And those gigs are frequent, but they don't pay as much as, let's say, a main role, which you get less frequently. And unfortunately, that is typically how it works. You sign on with an agency, and they're like, okay, today you're a construction worker or whatever it is. You may have a line or you may not have a line, but you're there to fill in and make the scene look full. And we do that with cleanup crew.
Yep.
We're just part of the background. We're not recorded because the only dialogue being fed is through the actor's microphone, which is redubbed later. So we're literally making face noises in the background that you'll never hear. And that's typically what that is. Oh, be actors list. Yeah, riff honey.
Yeah, Austin is getting there like LA.
I'm a C-list actor.
Yep. Most AAA actors like The Rock and Vin Diesel have skewed work for other B-list actors because of the typecasting. Yep. It's making movies less and less worth watching because they all end the same way. I stopped watching like Fast and Furious because it is the same formula over and over again. Yeah, some things change, but the overall feel is the same. This is why, like, the Wachowski sisters, they didn't want to create yet another Matrix movie because they felt the story was already done. Adding a fourth movie just felt like an unnecessary cog in the gear, just making things skewed and distorted. And people were, they had a lot of mixed reviews on it because it really was just a jab at Warner Brothers saying, hey, we didn't want to make this movie. You forced us to, and we did it. And now if you guys don't like it, that's too bad. We don't care. That's how I perceive it.
Yeah, something that came out recently, which I still need to see for multiple reasons, is the Barbie movie.
And I feel like that film project, if you have a chance to see it, and this won't take away from any of the protests and stuff going on right now, if you want to see it, please do. A lot of that was just a labor of love. So some folks were just like, I just want to be in it. So who was the main actor from Scott Pilgrim? I'm blanking on people's names. I apologize.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera,
Yep.
He had a call, I think, from an agent about, he's like, I don't know if you want to do this. I was like, yeah, he just had a little side character. And then who's the, oh gosh, oh man, there's a former wrestler's name I'm blanking on. He just wanted to do it, so they stuck him in as a merman.
Who's the guy who said you can't see me?
Oh, John Cena.
John Cena. It was
Yep.
John Cena.
He just wanted to be in the Barbie movie, so there's all these little silly things that were improv in this, and it was just, people just wanted to make a movie. Yeah, it was based off a franchise, but it's also satire. The whole thing is just satire, and I'm all for that. If they're, oh no, somebody wants to join me. I have a weird question for you. It's okay if you want to decline this. Would you like Photograph Otter here? He just asked to join me, but he's also doing something very important right now. You will. This is your instance. If you want to, and wait, let me make sure. Yeah, go ahead and do that, because that's something we can talk about on here as a good topic.
I can let Photograph Otter in. Absolutely. Here, I'll toss an invite.
Just let him know we are live on the air. He was very respectful. I don't want to spoil. If he is coming here in the instance, hey Mindy, greetings. I need to say, yes, Mindy, please go see it. I had it spoiled for me, and I don't care. I will still see this movie. If you're familiar with the film Enchanted, it takes a very similar premise to that, where your fantasy goes into reality. That's all I'm going to say for this film. Holy, Mindy, again, it was wonderful to see you. I don't know if I'll be able to make it up in October, but if I am, I will let you and Sunny know. You can let the kids know. They're very sweet. all the fluffers.
I think there's a reason why Barbie movie was so successful is because it didn't take itself too seriously.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love everything they did with that film.
I want to see it, because even though Barbie isn't my thing, it's not so much about the Barbie as it is about the story. So yeah.
Let me
let him know we are on the air. I'll be right back, folks.
All right. So, Photograph Otter's here.
But you're welcome to join us. This is like a conversational topic, but I felt it's important if you want to be here. Good to see you, by the way.
All right.
Okay.
Are you cool with that photo?
For joining.
You can come on and join us if you so desire. Let's see. Actually, let me move my camera around here. Actually, and we can put Photograph Otter on there. I know Eric's.
There we go.
There, I know Eric's
it's fine. I'm clipping.
feeder
I can't do anything
clipping.
about it.
But anyway, Photograph Otter, by the way, absolute gentleman, very talented. I really appreciate you for everything that you've done, especially with Cleanup Crew. By the way, you guys should really go check that out. If there's a YouTube video available that I can show people that you want me to show, let me know. So we're just kind of discussing several subjects today, considering like with Unity and with corporate greed, and then we got into a topic about acting.
Hollywood.
And Hollywood in general, and then basically just the weird things that have been going on with the industry, and whatever.
You're doing something amazing right now.
By the way, you look absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Along
you
with
look like you
adventure.
belong here. I just look like a character actor.
Oh, and you're doing.
I am without my full body.
Oh, that's
Oh, you're
weird.
fine.
it's so
You're
good.
fine.
You were also doing something very altruistic at the moment. I don't know if that is okay to discuss. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, we can discuss that. It's all good.
Okay. So you're going
Yeah.
to meet up with a friend out in Sweden because you're willing to.
You are?
Yeah, that's where I am right now.
Oh, you're in Sweden right now. Also,
I'm still being.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm hit by the jet lag.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, you poor thing. You poor thing. Oh my gosh.
All right. So from the bottom of my heart, I commend you for what you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I.
You can tell them
I'm in the
about it if you
chat.
want.
I'll give
Say it.
chat
Go
head
ahead,
pats.
say it. Say the thing.
All right. So I heard you're helping donate an organ to a friend, and you're trying to see if you're
Yeah.
a blood match compatible. That's where all these tests are being done, because you want to see someone be able
Yeah.
to continue to live, and we really appreciate that. Who is
Exactly.
the individual that you're helping out?
How you?
Hi, Martin. Okay. So
I'm talking to Sonicgott.
Hi,
Sorry.
Oh,
He's
can
in the
you
other
tell
room.
Hayu off mic, like off to the side, like
you're an amazing individual and keep being you. I saw the tweet. I saw the video on the
Eric,
tweet.
Eric loves you very much.
tell him tack så mycket. My Swedish is terrible, but anyway. So thank you very much. Essentially.
oh, Justin, can you move the chat like either above or on
Oh
the
yeah,
desk?
yeah. I just
I'm-
realized that
I'm-
the chat is above your
patting the
head.
chat.
Okay, I will fix
Everybody
this
gets
issue.
head pats
Oh.
right there.
No, it's funny. I hopped in here. I didn't know y'all were streaming. I'm just. It's so weird. It's like 6 o'clock or something here, and like none of my friends are online.
yeah, it
I'm
is.
like, oh right, because it's like noon where I usually
they're at
am, and nobody's
Megaplex.
usually on yet. That's right. Yeah. Everyone's at the convention this weekend.
Yeah, I think it was Megaplex right now is happening right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, I was actually by the portal. I said hi to Tabo earlier. He was at the portal.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm laying on the floor.
Oh,
Oh,
You're
that sounds
wondering
lovely too.
why my positions are a little weird.
I thought you were just in desktop.
like I said, the desk, the jet lag has
Aw.
been hitting me, but I'm
I
getting
would give
there.
you a
I got
hug.
some melatonin. I got
Nice.
it today, so I'm gonna sleep tonight, whether
Nice.
my brain likes it or not.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, since being to Sweden, besides the amazing photos you've been posting on social media, you're like, look at this, look at these. love
I
it.
had that idea, and I've been having the best time with it. My vacation photos will never be the same again.
oh my goodness.
Those were great.
By the way,
Have you
Remy,
s-
thank
have
you
you
for the
seen those,
50
Justin?
bits. I appreciate it. I don't know if the sound alerts are working properly. Go ahead.
So I'll let Photograph explain what he's doing. If you have not seen, what is your social media handle? Just so that people can check those out.
Just photograph otter.
Yep.
On,
I was always wondering
X.
how you pronounce that properly. Photograph otter or photograph otter? I've seen it as both.
Photograph otter, yeah, that's
Fodder.
it.
You should just be fodder.
Fodder is good.
Fodder.
Fodder.
Most people call me fodder nowadays.
Okay. So let's
But
see.
no, it's been great.
you go.
So
Yeah.
basically, what I did is I took a bunch of photos of this character
Mm-hmm.
back when I was at home, when I had face tracking working.
Oh, that's how you
Wow.
did it. Okay.
But yeah, I took a bunch of photos and I made it transparent in the background, and then I'm just like, as I'm going around Stockholm, I'm just like framing the shots as if my character will be in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I just drop the photo on. So it's it's been the best. My parents actually wrote to me today, and they're like, "Oh, have you been taking any photos?" And I sent them the whole batch, and they didn't respond to it at all. They just like they looked at the photos and they're like, "Oh, that's weird. Why is that tree upside down?" It's like, really? That's okay. That's all right.
That's great.
I think they're just used to my bullshit.
My son's a weasel now. What have we done with her life?
That's right. But no, it's good. I'm gonna be here for a few more days before all the things like properly start. Looks like the tests are gonna start on like Wednesday, so we'll see how it goes. I'll keep everyone updated.
So, like I said,
Yeah, I'm
crossed.
glad you're documenting it.
I absolutely commend you for what you're doing. I appreciate all of your hospitality, your generosity, your altruistic, everything about you. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you, so I can't thank you enough. And
Oh, that means a lot. It means a lot to hear that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Would you like to sit here? I'll scoot over.
that's
Sure.
entirely up to you.
Here,
Yeah.
Let's put you in the middle. I've been in the middle long enough.
Hello.
So
So I'm not animated the way I usually am.
You're fine.
that's fine. So, the idea behind this today, we're just going to have several philosophical discussions and kind of treat it like a talk show, right? So think of like Jimmy Fallon or Conan O'Brien or Jay Leno or things like that. So essentially, you're our first guest. So
Wow. And here I am. I just stumbled in here. Wow.
so we appreciate you coming on
Amazing. You're how many time zones? He's 7 time zones ahead of you, Justin.
in. Yeah, 6 in the afternoon or almost 7, I think. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Jeez.
I'm from the future.
Well, you're from the future. Tell us more.
That must have been a heck of a plane ride. It was about 10
Right.
hours?
8.5 hours.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I watched a lot of movies.
There you go.
I brought my Quest. I watched the movies on that. It was great.
I didn't.
Wait, you watched the movies on your VR headset?
That's a cool idea, actually.
Yeah.
I never think you could do that.
It's yeah, and you can plug the Quest into your computer and put files on it. So you can store it all locally. So you obviously prepare in advance. But yeah, you just throw that on. You want to block the tracking at the beginning. So that it goes into like non-place-based tracked mode. And then yeah, you just watch movies and it's great. It's my favorite way to fly.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm picturing sitting next to you, you have this thing strapped to your face.
I'm sure I look very silly to everyone else, but to me, I'm in a giant movie theater. It's all to myself.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That sounds amazing.
See, now that makes me
Yeah, I
want to
did,
get a Quest just for that purpose.
Oh, it's great.
Yep.
It's great, especially on the Quest Pro because the pancake lenses.
Yep.
You don't get all the smearing and stuff.
Oh.
But
That
I mean,
sounds
the Quest 3
amazing.
is going to have that too. So like, that's going to be a good feature. I think everyone like you don't realize how much you want the pancake lenses until you get them,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like, oh my god, I can never go back. You just never like it's too good.
That's
Oh,
really
nice.
cool.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
That's excellent.
Reading chat here, Lilo is asking, hey, I need some advice about doing a fundraiser for a 3D project. Is it allowed if I were to do one, and how do I get started? It's quite the question. I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. Might be something for the Discord. Exclamation point Discord if you guys want to join, by the way. Let's see, doing some errands, need to pop back out. Have a great stream. Thank you, Mendy Tiger. Good to see you again. Previously, just to let people know, I was sick with a cold for a couple days, and that's why we had delayed the
Yeah.
Ice Bucket Challenge, so we'll get to do that in the future. Yeah, photograph is
Yeah. Oh,
T-Bozing
Justin.
here. What's up?
Yeah. So
Just
I
asserting
found
dominance.
three. You are asserting dominance. That's right. So I found 3 places I want to contact for indoor pools. So,
Okay.
given that your weather is cooler than here, indoors inspired by Tetsuneko Railway Cat, I think would be a good idea. Basically, with their permission, if we could dump ice cold water on ourselves near a pool.
That's
As
probably
long
a
as
good
it's
idea.
just regular water. Yeah. So
sure.
There's 3 places that are in
proximity
proximity.
to you, I need to reach out to.
That is fair. Let's see. Aside from that, again, we really appreciate you, photographer. You're welcome to stick around here with us for as long as you'd like. Let's see.
I can hop over to the other chair.
It's up to you.
Sure.
Usually guests just sit in the chair that's right next to me, and then my co-host sits in the other chair. But that's entirely up to you.
It works.
This is Radio Universe 2.0.
Yeah, pretty much. See, I know we had written down
guess I'll
notes
get up there.
in the Discord, but I can't.
I have some notes, so let's see. I guess should I go sit back in the other chair? Yeah.
Wait. Hang on.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Oh, you're drifting! You're drifting! I was gonna like pat your head.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. You're off to your home planet.
That's right.
Oh my god, why am I rotating? I have to rotate my actual chair in real life. There we go.
So as far as topics, let me grab my Oh, there's there's a certain website that I don't know if we want to name, but it supposedly may be going away very soon. Supposedly, I use supposedly because 2.0 might pop up, but I guess touching on the subject of, let's say, personal assets being procured nefariously, if you will.
Yeah. Let's
You
bring
wanna-
that.
should
Let's
we
bring
talk
that
about
up as more of a general subject. Avatar
Sure.
theft, and
Yes.
so many of us, artists and designers alike, and the people who spend a lot of time working to pay for these assets, including my avatar. As well as like Lights and JT
Yeah.
Wusky and Whiskey Dingo, were made by the really awesome Blanca, Fox with Ramen on Twitter. And these are pretty expensive investments. I not only have invested in this avatar, but I've invested in a lot of its assets, its movement to VC Face, and the facial tracking with AR Kit with Ritual Neo. Ritual Neo did an awesome job, by the way. I just need to get a better implementation of it. But case in point, when our avatars show up on other people who didn't pay for these, that is theft, and that is a big problem. And if I see people who have this avatar that aren't the people I trust, they are going to be reported. And taking stuff that doesn't belong to you is really been a problem since humanity's inception. But people just see models they like and they want them, and it's like, oh, how much is it for it? And I tell people, well, this is a custom model, it's not for sale. Then they get disappointed. And it's like, well, there are plenty of other models, Tosca, for example, that has really great looking lines that I would actually recommend that you go check out. Those models are available for a much smaller price. And here's a cat, for example, very beautiful. So
Yeah. Tosca.
And also, you can turn this into a tiger or a lioness. They don't have a full mane on it, but like this is just an example if you're looking for a cat.
Yep. So, if you guys want to
I'm not
know
sponsored.
how much this stuff costs, this can be in the higher 3 digits to lower 4-digit numbers. It's basically the cost of a digital fursuit. They take hours to build, sometimes days or even weeks, and for some rare occasions, months. I would say that this avatar, with all the assets combined, cost me well over $1,200. That is including everything that it is attached to it and is involved with it. So when I see this model being used by people I don't trust, it makes me really question the VR community on that level of integrity. There are only 5 people allowed to use this avatar, my avatar. Eric, who has used it for cleanup crew because I couldn't be there.
Yes. I was your understudy.
So Kyle, Tall Werewolf, is allowed to use it. Kiwi, our green Kiwi, she is also allowed to use it for like Beat Saber. And myself, obviously, and the creator of the Avatar Blanca is allowed to use it. And those are the only 5 people that are allowed to use this avatar. Anybody else should not be using this. It's not a public asset. So, again, we invest money into these things. And this also goes for, like, custom models of, like, public avatars. So, if you buy the base, you can recustomize it however you see fit. But that customization now belongs to the individual for their personal use. It's not meant to be used by anybody else. So, hopefully that makes sense. Extreme Metal Goth, hello. We're having ourselves a little conversation. So we actually found out that there are certain websites out there that distribute stolen assets. And this has been no stranger to the internet community in general, even long before, VR avatars, stolen assets, like cracked software and stolen keys and stolen property has always been a thing. Anybody remember Pirate Bay?
Oh, I remember.
Yep. So it's becomes kind of an issue. We try to curb this theft as much as possible. We try to protect our assets as much as possible. But unfortunately, things do get leaked out. And I ask people, the honest people, to remain honest. And if you see it, let me know. I'll report it, and we can take measures from there. But don't steal assets from other people, please. Because we invest a lot of time, we invest a lot of money. Just to kind of give you an idea of how much running this Twitch channel has cost me over the last 3 years, of all of my equipment combined, all of my assets, my models, everything that I've invested. Take a stab at how much doing this Twitch channel has cost me over the last 3 years. Take a wild guess.
$4,500.
$3,500?
$9.
$9. Photograph has it. You're right.
$9.
That's what we pay for Clam Crew.
The total amount of money that this cost me, chat, is $22,000 and some change for all the stuff that I've invested combined. And a lot of those expenditures, that includes avatars I purchased.
Okay.
My computer, my hardware, my setups, my maintenance, my electricity, my internet, all that stuff combined. That goes on my taxes.
And you still don't have a swing.
I still don't have a swing. No.
I'm looking into it. I need to contact the building people, see if I can hook up something from the ceiling. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Thanks for clearing this up and getting an avatar myself I didn't understand. Yeah. There are plenty of public avatars that look really good that I would highly recommend out. That's why I show like Fur Hub a lot, because there's a lot of really great models. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Photograph Otter, thank you for joining us today. Please stay safe out in Sweden.
Keep doing the good thing.
Keep submitting us updates. We love you. Thank you so much. Guys, please go check out Photograph Otter on Twitter, on X. Absolute sweetheart. All right, let's go back to default camera mode here real quickly.
Sure. So something he didn't mention about, which is okay to talk about. So throughout the month, what they're going to be doing is a series of tests to make sure that, one, it's healthy enough to have him donate an organ, and two, are they compatible? Because something I did not know when donating a kidney or specific organ is sex is taken into a factor. So, for instance, I would not be compatible with Hayu because I have the XX chromosomes, but if you're XY with another XY individual, that's one factor. Size, age, all these little blood type, all these little factors are involved with donating an organ, and I did not know some of these things that he had mentioned about. I have my play space on.
It's all good.
So he is in the absolute best shape he's ever been in. He bought, I think it was like a bicycle or something. So he's been taking care of himself as best he can, because he wants to make sure, if it is even remotely possible to donate an organ, that he's good to go. This is the healthiest he's ever been. This organ is very healthy, and he's trying to save a life. So I'm all for everything he's doing. I told him, like, and it keeps getting better. I told him, if you need anything, you need to donate, like, any donations towards your stay, if in the event you can donate your organ, I want to help. And he told me the Swedish healthcare is paying for things.
So they're gonna reimburse him for some stuff. Like they were gonna put him up in a hotel, but he's actually staying with. We said who it's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hayu
we said
Maru.
Hayu. Okay,
Yep.
so he's actually he's staying with Hayu, who's a very talented and very smart individual, and I wanted to see him be okay. And they're gonna reimburse him for a ton of stuff. So the only problem was it's the hurry up and wait game with the Swedish healthcare. And finally, after months and months and months of waiting, they're doing part one. So they're making sure through a series of tests, is this a healthy and viable choice to be able to remove a organ out of someone's body and place it in someone else? He's sending his kid off to school. And B, are they a match? Then what happens, because this is again the Swedish government, he has to then go home for 3 more months. Because their whole thing is he's not being coerced. This is a legal thing that he has to comply with. So if he is a match, he goes back to country of origin, which is the U.S., and then when it's go time, again, are they a match? That's the main thing. Not only is he healthy enough to survive this, is he a match? 3 months later, they make all the arrangements, and in the care of the Swedish healthcare system, they do the operation, he recovers, and then eventually he goes home. So that's the whole thing. And he's also put out a video in the event that something were to happen that he hopes he never ever has to publish, which I don't want to. I want a reason not to see that video. I'll just say that. if in the event something happens. So cleanup crew, everything he's doing, it's all labor of love, and I highly respect Photograph for what he's doing. And Alex, I don't know if you're listening, but thank you again for being you and doing what you're doing.
You know, there's a lot of...
He has put his real name out there. It's all good.
I can't help but feel that there's a lot of philosophical connections when donating an organ, because...
Milo.
What? Let's see. You donated a kidney to my sister? Oh, jeez.
That's amazing. Thank you for doing that.
I had no idea that you did something like that.
That's wonderful. Feel free to continue. I got distracted. Sorry.
So let me try that again. The philosophy behind donating organs is that a piece of you continues to live on in somebody else, in that you are eternally connected to that person, because you're basically giving up a piece of yourself so somebody else can continue on with their life. And that type of generosity, that type of altruistic, idea is unprecedented. From the very first days of understanding surgery and being able to donate organs to people who needed them, we have unlocked a great potential in prolonging human life. You know, the human body is built with a large number of redundancies that we can continue to survive even if we're missing certain things. Now, see, I would not be a candidate for donating a kidney myself because I have kidney stones, and that's a big medical problem.
Yeah.
So otherwise,
You
I
need the kidney
would.
for
I kind of need mine. Now, my sister, if you don't know, my sister had passed away about 6 years ago. She was diagnosed with Wilms tumor when she was a very young child, kidney cancer. And I remember this night. It was basically, it's kind of like a faded memory now, but what happened was like we were coming back from school, and she slipped and fell on the ice and hurt herself. And we're thinking, okay, no big deal. You know, kids fall all the time. They get up and
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, she kept getting more and more in pain, and we rushed her to the hospital. It turns out that slipping and falling on the ice ruptured that tumor that was inside of her, and it started to bleed.
I did not know that.
And that accident led to the discovery of her tumor. I remember the doctor's name was Dr. Hasegawa, and found out about her tumor, and they said, there's no time, we have to operate on her right now. So had it stayed in her body any longer, she would have passed away. So
I'm glad that was found.
So she was basically almost able to live almost 30 more years of her life because we'd found out about the tumor. My sister,
Oh, God. Sorry.
yeah, my sister did pass away eventually. She died of an accidental drug overdose, a morphine overdose. It wasn't intentional for her to do that, but she took, I think, my father's medication and took way too much at once, and basically she went to sleep and never woke up. So that's what happened. I was living with her at the time. So, and I guess the connection of like kidneys, right? Me having kidney stones, the stuff that I went through when I was at Anthrocon, my sister, being a kidney cancer, and now I'm starting to see a positive sign here with photographer's willingness to donate one of his good kidneys so that his friend can continue to live. Gives me hope for this world.
Yes.
That is a big turnaround. I would love to see this work. I would love to see this work. You were saying?
Yeah, I remember. Oh, so a friend of mine who I don't hear from anymore, but at the time had mentioned about how they found out he had kidney stones. And he had gotten into a car accident. He doesn't drive anymore, just by choice. And they checked out his back, and it turns out he had golf ball. There are screaming kids outside. I apologize. He had golf ball-sized kidney stones in him. So I was like,
meteors. Oh.
If he hadn't. Yeah, really, you know the pain. So
Yep.
when, hi Aaron, greetings. Good to see you for your migration, by the way. So because of that car accident, they checked out his back, and so they broke it up and sucked it up. That's what they
Yep.
did. So he has 2 little slits on the back of
They
him.
typically use
So they
ultrasound
took
to
him
break up stones.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that can cause kidney stones: excess caffeine, excess dairy products, excess sodium from or eating too much meat. There's a lot of things that can trigger it. When it comes to medical stuff, I have intimate understanding of what kidney stones are like. I've had 7 kidney stones. I passed 6 of them. There's another one dormant inside of me. Huh?
Did you name your children? Excuse me. Did you name your children?
Yeah, they're all demons.
Aggie does that.
So,
Demon 1, Demon the 2nd, Demon the 3rd.
right. The pain of a kidney stone is equivalent to being kicked in the balls.
Ow.
Imagine the pain of that not stopping. Like that's literally kidney stone. Like some big buff dude just came up and kicked you square in the nuts, and the pain doesn't stop.
I'm trying to think.
That's a kidney
Is that
stone.
like being a ride operator on It's a Small World After All and having to hear that for like 8 hours a day on loop?
Well, nothing can really compare to that, but it gets close.
Just saying, chat.
Oh my goodness.
My mother told me, and my mother, who has had 3 children and had kidney stones herself, it's a genetic
Ow.
thing also. She says, Jay,
boy.
that is the closest thing that a man will ever come to understand what the pain of childbirth is like. And I'm like, holy
my
shit, are you
gosh.
kidding me? No. So passing, I think the first time I passed kidney stones was 2007. That was not fun. I was rushed to the Pittsburgh hospital, and I paid $30,000 out of pocket for that surgery. It took me the greater portion of a decade to pay that off. Anyway.
I'm looking at my notes. I wrote SH and cons, but I can't remember what the SH was.
Uh-oh.
I probably should have wrote better notes. But something that you had mentioned about last night was infatuation with characters versus the actual individual.
Oh,
that is
yes.
The character.
Yes. I was looking that up,
Oh, wow,
actually.
finally.
There's a lot of people that, okay, it's fine to have fantasies, right? Absolutely fine to have fantasies. If people have fantasies,
I'm a bunny roo, you know?
you're
Otaru.
Otaru, yeah. People if they have fantasies about my line character, whatever. If you're enjoying yourself, great, go ahead and do it. Or
Am I allowed to?
sure.
Oh, boy,
Um,
chat. Ooh.
So, ooh, Haramosa
Ooh.
disease. Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
So if someone has fantasies about a little canary, I have concerns. It's just a bird.
Yeah,
The little
but
bird.
anyway, right there. The point that we're trying to make here is don't get too attached to fictional characters on screen. These are avatars. We're puppeteers, right? These are fake characters.
I'm a puppet.
A lot of people are going to understand it. And it was brought up on Twitter about this.
I was Victory VRC, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was Victory VRC.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let me
Okay.
pull this that. Oh my goodness, Grey Wolf.
There you
Let's pause it. Grey Wolf, tier 1 resub for 20 months. Holy
Do I-
crap! Thank you for the resub. Oh, the stream goes well. A woo. Thank you so much. Very cute puppets, at least. Yes. Well, we try to be cute.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's see. VRC Victory. Let me see if I can find them on Twitter. Okay, there we go. Let's see.
there you go. Hey, Aaron, and it was also other Aaron, Aaron Jebelith. It was also welcome to see you at Free Migration.
We got ourselves a hype train, by the
yeah.
way. Thank you for the hype train. Thank you for the 150 bits. And thank
You're
you, Fang, for the
welcome.
Prime
Great.
sub. Hello. Holy smokes. 10 months. Damn. Thank you, thank you,
Hype
thank you.
train.
Yo, we
Let's
got
go. Thank you.
hype train
all.
today. Sweet. Thank you guys so much. Let me look up on my profile here, because I had done a reply or
Sure.
at least a retweet of some kind talking about people falling in love with avatars or something like that to an extent.
Someone's personal character.
Yeah.
Whether that's an avatar, a cartoon, VTuber, whatever. By the way, Gray, I hope your rehearsals are going well. Just want to mention that before I forget.
Yeah, you got to draw the line of fantasy and reality. You just have to. Oh my goodness! Thank you for the 1,000 bits, Grey Wolf. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holy smokes! For the deja vu, hype train level 1 complete. Yo, what a great way to start the day. You guys are awesome.
Deja vu.
Yes,
Do, do, do.
I love that so
oh, shoot,
much.
what
Thank
is
you,
that
thank you,
from?
thank you.
What
Deja
is
vu.
that song from? It's from an anime series. Yes, and I can't remember what it's from. It's car racing, and I cannot remember what it's called.
Someone will figure it out. Someone will figure it out. Initial D?
Initial D. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron Javela. I appreciate
Okay.
you.
Okay. VRC Victory had posted, love the person, not their original character. Stop falling in love with people's OC, then
right.
be disappointed when you see them in real life. It ruins people, mostly because people obviously don't look the same as their OC, right?
Wait, you mean donuts doesn't have a giant long
Wiggly tail?
Well, they
I
do
don't know where my sad
now.
face is. They do
With
now?
giant plush
Oh, wait,
tail.
they have a version?
They have a plush tail, at least.
They have a giant flesh show?
Yeah,
Oh,
so...
okay. All right. All right,
our-
I'm less disappointed now.
Okay, so yeah, in real life, chat, I am 6'2". Holy smokes. Put that thought on hold, because Grey Wolf with the
Whoa,
champion
great!
10 tier 1 gift subs. Holy smokes. Power move. Hell yeah, indeed. Can we get
Oh my
hypes in channel
goodness.
for Grey Wolf? Thank you for the
Yeah,
10
great, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for the
It's
10 tier 1 gift
September.
subs. It is September, chat. To JT Greyfire, Riley Riolu, Tyler Furlong, 74XC, Stubby Holder, Giles 8001, Angel Nargacuga, OG Marco Wolf, Ritual Neo, and Baku Craft. Thank you for the tier 1 gift subs. Thank you. That keeps a roof over my head, chat. You guys have no idea how much that helps me. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It helps us both, honestly.
Oh my god, if you have hearts in chat, feel free to spam them. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Thank you
goodness.
so much for the support.
Yo, and Thomas Doby with 3 tier 1
Thomas!
gift subs. To Kazuhiro M, Rekka Wolf, Sasquatch Joe 97. Thank you so much. Holy smokes. What hype train level are
How
we
you
at?
doing,
Level 4
Thomas?
complete. Holy crap. I am blown
That's
away.
amazing.
Where did I even begin with this? Damn. Thank you. You guys rock. I'm absolutely blindsided by this. Guys, can we get hearts in chat for both Grey Wolf and
That's what I'm trying
Thomas
to do.
for all the gift subs today? Holy shit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Mega hype train. Holy crap. We just completed a level 4. We're into a level 5 hype train. Fuck yeah, you guys are awesome. I have nothing but the best words to say. I really have an amazing community. You guys really blow my mind. You guys blow my mind. Thank you so much.
How are you doing, Thomas, by the way? And thanks for being so generous. Oh my god. Happy September, everybody. Oh my gosh.
Oh, fun thing.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
There is the potential that I might
Punish
have
your kidneys.
I might have crossed Thomas at Anthrocon back in 2006 because that was my first Anthrocon. I probably didn't know him very well back then, obviously, or I may have walked across him. Who knows? But it was interesting because back in 2006, I was 25 years old back then, right? It was my first Anthrocon. It was a graduation gift for my father to go to Anthrocon the first time, and I volunteered, and then I became staff next year, and then assistant director the year after that. I grew up so high in the ranks, it was crazy, but I had so much fun. I mean, it wasn't even Thomas back then. It goes back so far. I know, right?
Yeah.
Do you realize?
I remember Thomas as okay.
Yeah. Okay. Get this. Anthrocon 2026 will be Anthrocon's 20th year in Pittsburgh.
Man, we old.
I know.
I'm kidding. We're not old. We're just old.
We're spicy. We're seasoned.
We're spicy.
We're seasoned.
Salty.
Yeah.
I'm so
Thank you for the
salty. I'm
block.
seasoned.
All right. Thank you guys for the hype train. Any hype train that we get is greatly appreciated. So those hype trains help generate traffic for the stream, and I really appreciate it. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Justin. I'm a variety entertainment streamer. I'm just your typical talking line dad. Today we're just doing some chatting with some friends. My boyfriend here, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
And then we had Photograph Otter come on in earlier. It's just an impromptu type of thing, but it was really nice to see him. Absolute sweetheart.
I was really happy he was here. He's a wonderful individual and needs to get all the love that he's been getting.
I hung out.
Aaron. Yes.
I believe I hung out with him and Tater back at Midwest Fur Fest last year, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did see them.
So Photograph is, I think Tater too are both on staff with MFF, and they were also at the staff dinner. So I'm pretty sure you bumped into them. But yeah, Thomas, I'm glad you posted that IBC video because I was like, wait, you look extremely familiar. I know you.
Yeah,
you're a wonderful individual as well.
Quite a few of us around since the Adams Mark AC crowd. Yeah. That's when
I remember the Adams Mark.
That was before my time, but that was like Albany Anthrocon, basically known as down in Albany, New York.
No.
No?
No. It was PA. Yeah, that was
PA?
in King of Prussia. I want to say it was. Was that King of Prussia, Thomas? Just remind me. But no, Albany Anthrocon was 2 years, I think, and then it moved to PA, and then
Sam Conway, aka Kage, got involved. Uncle Kage.
Yeah. He's he's got a couple of years on me, obviously. So his knowledge goes a little bit further back than mine. You've been staffing conventions for longer than I have.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's infectious. But I will say where Furrydelphia is, that was, I think, the 2005 Anthrocon Hotel, and they are currently using that. Wow, level 5 hype train. That's amazing. I'm looking at the
chat. You guys
chat
freaking
here.
rock. Thank you so much. Philly-ish.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Philly, it really is Philly-ish.
I want a Philly cheesesteak now.
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, we can make that happen. It's not hard. So Thomas, I'm curious, will you be at MFF? I think you had hinted about that.
I know there's an audio delay. I wish it could tell. Oh no, Aaron, you're fine. I saw you at the con. You did get your con fix, and also Megaplex has their portal open. So if you don't feel like sweating in Florida and sweating in a headset, you.
Oh hey Benjamin, greetings. Pop by the portal.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to MFF. Okay, I'll have to punch you in the shoulder and go, yo, what up, dog?
Again, it's my intention to go to MFF. Yes, that'd be awesome to see you there. Again, thank you for the hype train. I'm going to jump back on the subject I was going to talk about, which was what VRC Victoria posted. Love the person, not the OC. So it's very important to understand that us as characters behind the screen, we're human beings. And I've had a couple ideas to do like a live camera stream. Here's the thing about doing character streams. I can do things that normally would be disgusting. I can't really, I have a habit of picking my nose. I'll be honest about it. These things I don't want to.
Pick your friend's nose.
Yeah, pretty much. I have an itchy face, but anyway, people should not judge the characters based upon what they see on the screen. Like we're not our characters in real life, right? I'm not a lion. He's not an otteroo. Photograph otter is not an
No,
actual otter. I know, disappointed.
What?
You know, it's
Wait,
like
I thought he was.
I thought he was like a 5'9" weasel or whatever he is.
yeah.
What? That's not real?
People get these unrealistic expectations of who we are in real life, and I just want to set the grounds for that. That we're performers.
Take it for gold.
Yeah. Sounds like a minor
Wait,
habit.
Thomas's
Boo. Boo.
I love you. I love you, dude. You're awesome.
Well, I mean, Thomas is allowed to use dad jokes, but anyway. So,
That's right.
so just case in point.
Dad folks represent.
Yeah. And when people come up to us in real life and see who we are, and then their behavior just completely changes, like their whole worldview has just been shattered by the fact, no, I'm not this gorgeous, 6-foot lion in a suit and tie. I'm just a heavy set, 6'2" guy in real life. I'm like, come on,
Oh, Aaron, I've seen that before. Aaron Jellith.
Boo, Aaron.
Mr. Ketchup.
Yeah,
I love you. I've seen that before.
he's like ketchup pollock. The dude would
Ketchup
probably,
Pollock.
the dude would probably eat ketchup ice cream.
Could I read the dad joke?
All right, I'll take my
the
leave.
uncle
then.
joke.
I-
When does a joke
Become a dad joke.
when it becomes apparent. Anyway. Yeah, Dutch Wolfie had responded to that post. Spoiler warning, I'm not that hunky. The same way I'm not actually a 7-foot tall, half dog, half human monstrosity. Meet someone who looks exactly like their OC. I'm going to be a bit alarmed, to be honest. I don't know why people expect to look like their OC to begin with. Now, there are certain circumstances. Not always, where a character that somebody represents themselves as is aesthetically similar to the human selves. They just have a human face and not, animal face, right?
Yes.
But they might adopt their body type, which we might actually see.
Yeah. I've actually had a request for that a couple times. So one of them was a badge illustration. The fellow had a bear character and is a husky dude in real life and wanted that to reflect on his personal character.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted a husky bear.
And I thought that was very interesting.
Body positivity. And I thought that was really cool.
Yep. Let's see, I'm going to go for the water here.
That's
Yep.
right. Punish your kidneys so they don't punish you back.
Right. Contrary to popular belief, this mug does not actually have any drinkable liquid in it. Another person responded
How
here,
convenient.
which I can kind of hop on to another subject. Turkina had responded, the same goes for fursuiters. There are so many that only want to interact with the suitor but ignore the person. A suitor looks like out of the suit
Yes.
I always interact. A pretty OC or suit is just an empty shell. This shell comes to life because of the person. I know people's personalities kind of change in fursuit because they can represent themselves in a very different way. I think Joaquin Baldwin had posted some art about somebody who was in their fursuit, and he was holding his fursuit head and looking at his fursuit head, and he's like, you have no idea how you changed my life. Because people could represent
Yes,
themselves in a very different way, and they feel like they could be out of their shell once they actually become something physically different, right? I'm a very introverted person, and when I'm in fursuits, that type of expression that I can have can be a lot more boisterous and outgoing and goofy, because now I can actually put on a show and
Yes, that's
have
right.
this shell of anonymity that nobody sees my human self. They only see the character. It's no different than puppeteering. It's no different than, being in costume or cosplay or things like that. You can represent yourself differently.
Can I chime in on that?
Yeah, please do.
comment?
Go ahead.
So Thomas mentioned that's
Rio Gray Fox. I know him in real life. Very, very nice individual. He was also very good friends with Dog Bomb, Tony.
okay.
So he's very into embodying his fox character. It's a gray fox, and yeah, that homage to him was really beautifully done. I think that was Joaquin who drew that. So
Yeah.
he's very dedicated in the fandom, and I really appreciate the fellow.
The furry fandom in of itself is really about performing and exploring, who we are as human beings through our creativity. And fursuiting and doing digital puppeteering is basically just a form of that expression, much like music and art and animation and things like that. We are a very diverse community, but through our diversity, we have created a new community that is unique to pretty much anything else in this world. And that's why we continue to do what we do, because it's just so amazing on all the different things we can accomplish. Thank you for the touch on that, Thomas. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
With the fursuits, there's been a period of time where I had told myself I didn't want a fursuit anymore because I was treated very poorly in a fursuit. I'm not going to go into details on the aspects of that, but I did have a conversation with you about that last night.
Yes.
And
I was thinking about that, and the event you mentioned, I kind of think it was more of a local event from what you had described years ago. I thought about that later. But yeah, cosplay and fursuiting is not consent.
No.
I don't know if you want to talk about that.
So I've talked about fursuiting as a performance art. See, going way back, I used to have Stalking Cat, who had done a lot of body modification to embody his tiger persona. He was on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was a really nice individual. Unfortunately, has since passed. Unfortunate circumstances, but he was a really nice individual.
Yeah.
But yes, he was very much into transforming himself, how he felt on the inside to his outside.
Yeah,
In the form of a tiger.
I had met him only one time, and we didn't really
Same.
talk much. It was just a brief "Hi, how you doing?" and then that was it. So like body modifications, it's getting on the extreme side. It's no different than tattooing or things like that. It's how you wish to express yourself. Fursuiting is basically, hey, I can express myself without body modification. I can change myself through, clothing and appearance. But I've talked about a lot of things before about, the do's and don'ts of fursuiting, and how to perform in fursuit and how to interact with the public and how to be around children and how to interact with fursuiters. Fursuiters interacting with each other, fursuiters interacting with people interacting with fursuiters. And one thing that you do not do ever to anybody, doesn't matter what the fursuit is, do not touch them without their consent anywhere. Ask for a hug, ask to pet them, ask to gently pet your nose. Don't scritch, don't scratch. Our fur does not grow back. Don't bonk on our suits, that hurts. Don't pick us up without our consent, because okay,
Yes.
I'll tell you one good reason why you do not pick me up. I don't care how strong you are.
Oh,
right?
yes.
One, I have a very bad back. If you pick me up, there is a chance that I will be in severe pain, and that will result in an ambulance visit. And we can get into that. Two, I weigh 275 pounds, almost 280. Chances are you will hurt yourself trying to pick me up. I don't care how strong you think you are.
Actually have an injury story about that. So
go ahead with that story.
It wasn't. Oh, sure. So it wasn't at a convention. Again, I have been physically inappropriately touched. I'll just say that. Out of costume, but in costume, never. But when I was mascotting for a certain theme park, which will remain nameless, somebody was a really big fan of the character.
Mm-hmm.
So big they decided to give her a hug, which is okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then proceeded to pick her up and squeeze her extra hard. At the time,
dear.
I probably weighed less than 130. I am under 5'2". This guy was much taller. He was probably closer to your size, Justin. And I have, unfortunately, since 2013, have a pinched nerve issue under my right shoulder blade. Every once in a while, including 2 days ago, decided to remind me, oh yeah, that exists. So I got injured because somebody decided they really wanted to hug and squeeze the character. And there's a real person underneath, and I got injured as a result. So cosplay is not consent, and that includes theme park characters. So I got injured. That's the short version. But I'm here. I'm upright. This is, I think, day 4 of recovering. So for my nerve issue, it's okay, Lilo. I'm good. I said a lot.
So to recap on subjects that I've talked about before with fursuiting, on how these are expensive investments. Like my first suit was over $2,600. That was back in 2007, 2008 money, right? Adjusting for inflation, that'd be like
Yeah,
an
it's a
over
lot
a
more.
$4,000 fursuit today. And there are fursuits that cost anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 today. Now, when you think about the situations where if you cause injury to a fursuiter by picking them up without their permission, hurting them, if that results in the person falling on the floor screaming in pain, guess what's going to happen? The security team or safety team is going to call 911 and they're going to summon an ambulance, and EMTs will come and rush to the individual, and they will not hesitate to destroy the fursuit to get to the person inside. It has happened. And watching in horror as a $6,000 investment gets destroyed because somebody is in pain is a whole world of problems. This is why you be conscientious of what you're doing, right? I will never pick anybody up. I've seen those videos like of JT Wuski being whipped around by his friend, like a a signboard. That was consensual, but I ask that people do not do that in general in cons, because oftentimes that is against con policy to pick people up. I've seen Uncle Kage himself be very adamant about enforcing that policy. Let's just say that. Yeah, and added medical bills. Yep, medical bills can skyrocket. And, well, let's just say that's a huge can of worms that would deem much further discussion for another time. But just saying, be respectful to fursuiters. Remember, there's a human being inside of them. You don't know what their medical conditions are. You don't know what their gender is. Touching people on their chests or anywhere in the frontal region whatsoever is very much frowned upon. Don't do that at all. It doesn't matter what gender of person they are on the inside. I would just not do that in general. So, anyway.
Touching on that, I have unfortunately injured myself back in, it was Talk Like a Pirate Day, September of 2015, so I never quite healed from that, so I occasionally will use a wheelchair. I don't like to mascot in a wheelchair because I feel like it draws unwanted attention myself.
Oh, yes.
But, there's fursuiters who use crutches, or fursuiters who use electric wheelchairs, whatever you do. It's all good. But yeah, I have somebody along that subject, someone at Megaplex, I want to say like 2003, a long time ago, well-intended individual, but you could not see I have a chest. I have a chest in real life. I use a binder, no big deal, whatever. This guy was petting my chest, and the character, thinking I did not have something obvious, and I politely said, could you please stop? The guy got really embarrassed and apologized. He left me alone after that, but again, you don't know what's here. Don't touch this. Typically what I do is I'll do a high five or a hug. That's cool. If you want a picture, don't just take a picture. We will pose. We will make your picture look amazing. You'll have this forever. Just ask. Asking and consent are the good things that you should be doing.
Also, when it comes
you
to...
guys probably all understand this.
Yeah, when it comes to photography, I let the mascot performers or fursuiters know that I have a flash, right?
We're blind.
Yep, you will blind a fursuiter by random flashes. If you give us a polite warning, let's just say, hey, if I'm taking pictures of fursuiters myself and I have a flash on my phone, I will let the fursuiter know, hey, close your eyes, the flash is going to go off. And that helps them out tremendously, because I've seen photographers come out and then they just get right in their face and blah, 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 and flash, and like, you disorient them and blind them, and that's not a good time. So yeah, be mindful of that too.
I make faces. When people want to take pictures of me in fursuit, I'm sticking my tongue out and stuff. You can't see my face. I'll make the joke like, oh shoot, I think I blinked. Unless you have one of the digital ones with the eyes, because the fursuits now are getting really techie. You could actually have a blinking fursuit.
No, that's true. You know, well, one person I really want to meet, I hope I'll get a chance to say hi to him at least. You ever seen Dad Healer on Twitter?
Oh, yeah, he's fun.
Oh, my God.
I saw him at FWA one year.
I don't think I've ever seen such a wholesome bluey or bandit fursuiter. He's cosplay, suiting as bandit.
Yeah, he's cosplaying bandit, from Bluey.
We need more wholesome in this
I want to be
community.
Bingo.
You want
I want to be
bingo?
bingo.
You want to be bingo?
I'm small.
I'm a small patat. Oh, you had mentioned something related to Bluey that they only see in like certain color schemes. It's literally called Bluey because they're blue healers. That's the dog
Yeah,
breed, and
I
it's
knew
Australian.
that.
Yeah.
It was like somebody else had brought up that a lot of the colors that used in Bluey were within the spectrum in which dogs can see. Dogs can.
That's. Oh my gosh. Oh, continue. Sorry, I'm just reacting to something.
So I put reflective tape on the eyes of my wolf suit years ago. I wanted to get back at people hitting me in the face with a flash. It ruined a lot of pictures. That reminds me of like the
my God.
anti-paparazzi clothing that causes high reflections and
Yes.
and they end up getting a silhouette instead. That's a good
Yes,
idea,
well.
actually. Holy crap! I didn't think about
Oh my
that.
gosh, Thomas, if you got some stalkers in suit, oh my gosh, take that paparazzi.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, having a suit in San Francisco when it's cold and humid, oof, yeah, might as well be having built-in AC in there.
Yeah,
What,
really.
what was I talking about now? Yeah, the colors that dogs see.
Photos.
So yeah,
Yes.
dogs are red-green colorblind. They cannot tell the difference between red and green. That's why they tell you, like, if you're gonna buy your dog a toy, don't get them a red ball because they can actually lose sight of it in the grass. But if you buy them a blue ball instead, they can differentiate between green grass and a blue ball. Green looks yellow to them.
Phrasing?
Yep.
Phrasing?
Should I roll you up and out in the grass? Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, anything as a ball chat if you could throw it hard enough.
Yeah, that's
Door,
true.
Ball. Me,
Ball.
She,
a bicycle ball.
yeah, clearly he's adorable.
If you can lift
Justin, he will be your ball.
Don't do that. The other
No,
thing,
I will just cuddle you.
the other thing I wanted to touch up on Bluey as a cartoon. We don't have enough wholesome in this community.
Hey, Willie.
Wheelie Husky, what's up, dude? What's up? Look at that little sweetheart Wheelie. Never mind the aerodynamics involved in aerial transport of said balls. Oh, is that a slush dog emote? Wait a minute. Oh no, that's a Timba. Timba think. Timberwolf.
Nice.
No, it looked like slush from a distance because I don't have very good vision in my headset. Brown eyes
Oh, it's
and
okay.
flesh
Yeah,
is
I'm
not
like,
my thing.
What
Yeah.
is this thing?
I have the uncorrected
Yeah,
fursuit
look-
group
look-
picture from FC 2006. Ooh, wow. Flexion off your eyes is all they can see. Oh my god. Like a Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
Oh no! Oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bluey's just really well done. If you're not familiar with the show, it's like Australian PBS. So it was commissioned by the Australian government. The writing, animation, acting, everything in it is beautiful. Everything's very colorful, and when I just see it as a still, I'm like, that's a really weird character design. But when you see it all coming together, it's beautiful, and I'm glad they keep doing what they're doing.
Yep.
You could see it on YouTube and Disney Plus.
One other thing I wanted to discuss was
I use dude collectively.
so
Go ahead.
our friend Maple Doe had talked about what she wanted to discuss.
Yeah,
let me
I
see.
wrote that down as well. What did I write down in my notes? I am turned. I wrote down Maple Ace/Demi feeling left out in the fandom,
Yep.
and we are both Demi. Just to put that out there in perspective.
I'm looking at, and that I also wanted to talk about elevators accounts too, but let's bring this up first, just real quick. One of the biggest problems that I have with the furry fandom is the excessive amount of sexual connotation within the community. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with enjoying the spicier things in life. Sometimes I'll enjoy that on a little occasion, right? But I'm not going to be fully
If
immersed
you
in it.
are of age.
Yeah, if you're of age.
Specifying if you are of age.
Yep.
In your country of origin.
So,
Preferably 18 plus.
what Maple was talking about,
Oh,
she had
head
posted back yesterday.
There you go.
And she said, I did this post on
Oh,
my
wait,
private
that's
ID, but enough is enough. I feel so out of place being ace in this fandom. Everything always has to be sexual. It's a gateway to too many things. I don't know that I have to be any of that.
There you
but it doesn't feel any welcoming either. I'm not interested in interacting with horny or always talking about sex and kinks. And my response to that was, I have to agree with her. I'm ace demi myself. While I appreciate the artistic side of things, the constant bombardment of unnecessary sexual connotation and overtones of what's being discussed in the furry fandom makes us feel ostracized. It's fun every once in a great while, but if that is the sole focus of what's going on, then I really don't want to be part of that. It makes me uncomfortable. If you guys are not aware of what the ace demi spectrum is on the LGBTQIA plus community, demi means I don't have feelings for somebody unless I develop an emotional connection with them or a philosophical connection with them. Ace basically means
emotional.
Yep. Ace basically just means I don't have any desires for sexual interaction as any part of me. That's the feeling.
Touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, the feeling might still be there, but yeah. Go ahead.
That's more arrow. Ace is the or asexual is the umbrella term for
what you're describing.
Okay. So it's more of like there's let's just say in order for me to have feelings for someone of the physical nature, I have to meet certain conditions, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So see, I had a response in there about how someone tried to drag me out for the spicy time, and I fell asleep on them because I was so disheartened in doing such things. I feel that. This is better than having
I got an example of this.
Piece of bacon or luncheon on my face. Oh my God, Rocky. Anyway.
Jeez.
Go ahead.
I was in a room where I told some friends that were being extra cuddly. I'm like, I need a pack. They're doing stuff behind me. I have zero interest, and I'm like, I'm literally just packing. It's like there was a guy, I don't know, he was being interviewed, I think, by Adam Padilla. It's like there was a, I'll just say activities going on in the room, and the guy's just eating Oreos. That's what it's like being ace. It's like, okay, you literally do you. But yeah, in my case, it's like unless I have like an emotional connection to someone, I just people will be like, isn't he so hot? I'm like, they're nice. They look aesthetically pleasing. Okay. So I don't have any feelings for it. It's just not my thing. But if it's with somebody I'm very close with, yes, I'm gonna have interest in them, but I don't window shop.
Yeah, that's a fair point to bring. So just kind of touching up on that, I don't want to feel like we're out of place in the furry community just because we refuse to discuss that type of thing. So for everybody else in the community that is of the ace spectrum, ace demi, you have conditions tied to your feelings. I don't want anybody to feel like they're being ostracized because that they don't wish to discuss that type of thing. So my channel here, I tend to not discuss that type of stuff to begin with because it is uncomfortable and it's not a subject I want to dive into. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is just to let people know my thoughts on that and Eric's thoughts on that, etc. It's a sad brown-eyed has a bit hard time with light see spots in her eyes flash. I'm not part of the furry community. I just love animals and dogs and love taking care of them.
Yeah, that's important.
When it concerns furry conventions, I'll just sidestep the subject a little bit. Believe it or not, chat. Believe it or not, you are not required to be a furry to go to a furry convention. At all.
Nope.
You can be your human self.
I call
it being furry for a day. Literally, you're just immersed in it, kind of like going to the Ren Fair.
Yep. Or furry adjacent, right? Where I'm not a furry myself, but I don't mind participating with furry events because I find them interesting, right?
Same.
Much in the same way that hanging out with a dog does not make me a dog. If that makes any sense.
I just like meeting people from all over and so many creative folks or just folks that have an interest in things such as like gaming. Gaming goes across all types of fandoms and just it happens that we're a little fluffier. So
pretty much.
Yeah, with furry conventions I've made so many connections over the years that it's the community I've stuck with the most.
As with you.
Speaking of conventions, one more quick thing I wanted to point out. Cosmic had posted this online. Cosmic's a good friend of ours. Says people taking the lift up to go down. The lift, the elevator for Americans.
The elevator.
I can already tell that this is going to be an elevator con. Folks, please do not do this.
no.
Please do not do this at cons.
Oh no, we're
Do
an
not-
ear droop.
Do not take the lift to go up to go down, and vice versa. The reason being is you are actually creating more traffic for everybody else if you do that. You are slowing
Yeah.
things down.
Oh my gosh.
I highly advise that if you have working legs and you can walk, to please use the stairs. You will actually find them to be much quicker and more efficient. For some of us, I have a bad knee. Eric's got a bad foot. There are other people with disabilities, people who are in fursuits, elderly. Please let them get to the elevators first, and don't clog up the elevators because people need to get back to their hotel rooms.
Yeah, for myself,
I also have bad balance, so me and stairs don't go very well.
well, Justin's very familiar. We stayed at a venue recently where he was cautious of me not,
Falling. So he went in front of me as I walked. But typically, if you can walk, please do.
it'll help people like me. It's appreciated.
Yep. So with the events coming up, Midwest Fur Fest, I'm desperately trying to get the time off for Midwest Fur Fest. I think
We
there's
will
like
invade you if you can't go.
there are like
in
6 different hotels. Some of the hotels are connected to the main convention center.
Oh, I need to talk about that. Yeah, continue.
Actually, I was kind of thinking that what you'd be able to bring up would touch light on this subject. For me, I'm not as attuned to wanting the main hotel. If I can get it, cool. If not, I'm not going to complain, because sometimes it's a little bit easier when you have an offsite hotel. Now, I'm going to say this, entitlement to the main hotel, that kind of behavior is
gosh, yeah.
frowned upon. No one is entitled to anything. I would say that the number one people who should have the main hotel, should they desire it, are the guests that have been invited. Like the guests of honor and the charity, they should have access to the main hotel. Staff members
Yes,
who have to be at the
absolutely.
convention should have access to the main hotel. People with special needs should have access to the main hotel. Dealers that have to, truck around a bunch of stuff should have access to the main hotel, or at least a nearby one. But people that have come online and they started up like a big round of drama because they weren't able to make
do
it
this
into the
every year.
room lottery. Just be happy that you can
Every
get to
year.
the con at all, right? They provide shuttles. Plan out your day. Plan out your events. You're an adult. You can handle this. But saying to the convention that I refuse to go if I don't go to the main hotel, goodbye. They're not for profit. You go there for the entertainment if you so desire, but to say that you won't go because you don't get the main hotel, that's pretty crappy in my opinion.
I didn't get
just
a cookie.
saying.
You can't have one too.
Yeah, I love liminal spaces. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Thanks for coming in. I hope you enjoy your day. Touch up on this if you so desire, Eric.
Absolutely.
So I'll give you an example. New York Comic Con is held in the Javits Center. There is no connecting hotel. It is a large event. You are welcome to take the Long Island Railroad, a cab. I had a wheelchair. I went several blocks from the LIRR, or whatever train. Yeah, I think I took the LIRR. I am disabled. I took a wheelchair there. Mind you, for a period, I can stand and walk, but
I used a wheelchair on the bumpy ass sidewalk.
So regarding Midwest Fur Fest, and this SALT happens every year since they've had the lottery.
And there are reasons they have it in place. There's a lot of you and not a lot of it. So you have several options. You can take the train in. You can take an Uber. You can take a Lyft. You can take a cab. You can walk. There is a shuttle provided by Midwest Fur Fest that's free. Justin has been on it.
I have been on it.
Very important. So as Justin mentioned, people that absolutely need to be there for this event to happen are the board of directors, the charity, the guests of honor, anyone they have invited to be there for special appearances, dealers. Dealers have their own block in the Crown Plaza. I love that hotel. It is quiet. It is not full of people trying to shovel each other in the same elevator at the same time, and there are stairs. But yes, Aaron Jevelith, you are correct about the layout. They I think they announced something regarding like what they're planning next year. If they have not, I can't say it. I was told what's going to happen. I think it was announced during closing ceremonies, but it will be hopefully a good accessible option for the future for 2024. That's for furry migration. But for Midwest Fur Fest,
They're adding hotels. You are welcome to book ahead of time and not participate in the room lottery, which is usually more expensive, but you will get a space.
depending on what venue that is, or you can participate in the lottery. Yes, you will have to get badge admission first, but the registration department's usually pretty communicative, so do reach out if you have any questions. I think it's registration at furfest.org. Hotels, I think, at furfest. It's all on the website. Go to the website. Furfest.org is the website. Justin, you're welcome to post to your own channel. And if anybody in chat needs me to repeat anything, just let me know. Let's see. They announced their closing ceremonies. Okay, cool. I can say that. So if you happen to be in downtown Minneapolis and all it's one-way street glory, they announced at closing ceremonies that the first and second floors next year will be utilized. They do have escalators, so if you're able to use that, if you have a wheelchair, obviously not. But yeah, I think it's going to be very convenient. They had another convention in that venue, and I'm trying to remember what it was, sci-fi related. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Thank you, Justin. So for Midwest Fur Fest, you do need to register to participate in the room lottery. You do not need the main venue to have a good time. Yes, if you fursuit, that's more convenient because you don't necessarily want to deal with the hotel check-in desk area, but if you do need to stow stuff, do not leave it in the fursuit lounge. Ask the hotel front desk to hold your stuff. It's cold. People are carrying coats around with them. People are carrying bags. It's not always convenient. But I have gone back and forth to the Crown Plaza. It is sometimes like playing Frogger to go across the street because the convention center and some of the hotels that do not have tunnels, you do have to cross the main road. But there are a few hotels. I think the DoubleTree, the Embassy Suites, the Hyatt, I think those do have connecting. But if you are taking the shuttle, get dropped off at one of the ones that have tunnels. You'll be fine. It's all good. I have taken an Uber to the airport. The airport, if you go to ORD, that's Chicago O'Hare, has a free shuttle that goes to various hotels. And you can also take the convention shuttle as well to your hotel of choice. Justin stayed a mile down the road back in 2021. It's not hard. If you want to just go, you don't need a fursuit. You can just go see your friends. There's concerts, there's dealers. Spend some money on supporting your local creative folks. They have a huge artist alley. It's a huge social event. I will say food's a little more convenient at Anthrocon, but it's also sweatier. So if you have a fursuit, the other fursuit lounge is in front of the Hyatt or outside. Pick a place. They have wonderful things to take photos with. You have fairy lights, aka Christmas lights, all over the place, including in the Hyatt. So please enjoy looking at the very weird sculpture in the lobby, which I don't know what this thing is, but it's huge. They recreated that in VRChat, and I have an avatar of it. Someone gave me it.
They have an avatar of that thing? Oh, jeez.
I'll show you after the stream if you want to see it, because I don't think it would look good on camera. But yes, someone has created an avatar, a wearable sculpture thing of the weird blue, I don't know what to call this thing. It's a wooden sculpture. It's big. But yeah, let's see. Crystal says, I do, and disability is, I can confuse very easily because my mind. Yeah, some disabilities are invisible. I have balance issues because of my inner left ear. I am hearing impaired. I hear you all better because you're typing. My balance is wonky. I use a wheelchair sometimes. I don't like it when people make comments where I had to put something on my wheelchair and push it, or I'm standing and then I'm sitting. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, you don't need to know. Unless this affects your life, you don't need to know. But I will say this, with Midwest Fur Fest, they do have a disability, accessibility disability department. So you just ask for a little wristband. If you need seating, if you are deaf or hard of hearing and you need an interpreter, we got you. They're awesome. But yeah, with the room lottery, we're all volunteers. We don't get paid for this. People are very boisterous on social media, especially on Twitter / whatever they're calling themselves lately. And we have to deal with this. It stresses us out every year. And room lottery is open right now if you do wish to. I'm not sponsored. I just like, supporting efforts. So please be patient with us, especially if you're emailing questions. You're welcome to reach out to me. If you have any general questions, I can try to, direct you to the correct person. So if you do want to send me a whisper, you're welcome to. I'm Blue
Canary Gallery on Blue Sky and Jesper Blue NC on the Tweeter, which I use him frequently now. But we want you to have a good time. And Justin staffed events over the years regarding Anthrocon, and I have worked too many conventions. We want you to have a good time. We don't want you to stress. If you have any concerns, we got you. So you are being heard. You're not ignored. Mr. Blue Sky, I love that song. Electric was it Electric Light Orchestra?
Yes.
Hell yeah, Benjamin. I would be my theme song if I could. I just like blue things.
Let's catch up with Chad here real quick.
Absolutely.
So
Hi,
reading down your messages, I appreciate you guys' feedback here. Furry conventions are essentially celebrating the concept of furries rather than being for furries. Agreed.
Absolutely.
I have a big creative mind for most people don't like that. And nothing wrong with being creative. Elevator con is funny for 10 seconds, then it's annoying. 100% agree with you, Benjamin. Yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Assuming...
what is that con called?
Magfest.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Previous to Crystal City, that was Elevator Con. People would purposely go ride the elevators up and down, and they call it elevator party. Don't be that guy.
Don't do that.
Continue, Justin.
And then Aaron,
Continue, Justin.
assuming stairs are at least nearby the elevators, it's one of the issues with the FM's hotel layout is that stairs aren't really anywhere that makes sense compared to the elevators. Yeah, furry migrations, hotels. I'm sorry. I love furry migration as a con. I couldn't go because I was sick. But I don't like the stair layout. I don't like the layout of the hotel. Whoever designed it, what is wrong with you? Oh my God. Anyway, it's Minneapolis. And then
it was downtown Minneapolis.
Benjamin says, for me, getting a place to stay is the worst part of conventions. That's the worst part for almost anybody, really.
Especially from another country.
Lilo the Stitch asking a question. Is ADHD a disability? Yes, if you're diagnosed with it.
Yes.
They announced it at closing ceremonies on the first and second floors next year. Interesting. I do in disability is I can confuse very easily because my mind is always hearing voices. ADHD is basically where your entire life, everything is bold, highlighted, underlined, and takes equal priority and pulls you in all directions. It is very difficult for somebody with ADHD to prioritize. As someone who suffers this myself, I can become very forgetful, or I can be drawn into one task and hyper-focused on it, and then any other task can kind of make me feel off-kilter, but then I can get burned out of that task that I was hyper-focused on and then want to do something else. And if anybody wants me to do other things, then I can just become disoriented. It's a problem.
Was it like bicycle, potato, light bulb, or something? I can't remember what the you made the analogy a while ago.
Something like that. Now I keep asking why. I really need to know. Yeah. But yes, it is a disability. It is something that a lot of people deal with. There is adult ADHD too. And sadly, a lot of it goes undiagnosed because some people really do struggle with focus and attention. And I noticed that a lot of times disabilities show up in the furry fandom a little bit more readily than those outside of the furry fandom, because the furry fandom tends to be very inclusive with more people. We're more accepting of each other despite our differences and our disabilities, because we recognize each other as fellow human beings. So I tend to see that more, and I don't want to put any negativity on anybody, right?
Oh.
So.
Aaron, I can. Aaron Jevil, I just don't want to confuse you both. So ADD is an outdated term. It's used with the DSM as ADHD. It's attention deficit disorder versus attention deficit disorder.
Attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. Yep.
Thank you. Words are hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically ADD is the outdated term. There's a song I remember that mentioned about their ADD. I can't remember the title, but I have memory loss. Sorry.
But yeah, there are folks that self-diagnose because you had gone through the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive. It's time-consuming, and if people kind of notice it and you notice it, you may have it. But a lot of things such as autism overlap. So one is like too much and one is not enough, so to speak, when you're dealing with different mental and executive functions.
Yep. I want to keep this in a positive light and recognizing these disabilities, because like autism is like living in a social bubble where certain aspects of who you are as a person, it becomes more challenging to socialize with others because of the way you present yourself. And I have friends of mine who do have autism, and I try to be respectful of that, and I try to remember that fact as I'm communicating with them. I have a colleague at work that I know that suffers from autism,
There's no mile.
and I try to at least be calm and accepting of him, like recognizing the fact that how he communicates isn't intended to be offensive in any way. It's just how his mind thinks. Does anybody remember the movie Rain Man? Is that had Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise? Yeah, that was on the extreme case. Yeah.
Yes. With Aaron Jevlith, there is no such thing as mild autism. It is a spectrum. How you function in different ways is going to vary person to person. Not you specifically. I'm using you as a general term. So, like,
I think it was Illumination had mentioned in one of her videos. Do check her out. Very awesome content creator. How someone commented to her, I think it was like a made-up scenario. It's like, you don't look autistic. I'm like,
what does autism look like?
This individual was describing exactly. He was describing his cousin, I think it was, who was like wearing earphones. It's not a visual thing. Now, if you have like hand flapping or tics that make it more apparent on the outside, that's different. But as a visual perspective, no, it's not a thing. And how you function, let's say in a social situation, somebody may be very extroverted, somebody may be very introverted, and some people may just info dump. It varies. There's no such thing as mild. It's how you. It's. I'm trying to think how to describe it. Think of like a circle and then little protruding, I want to say triangles, where you react differently in different situations, such as chores. You may be very apathetic to something, but extremely enthusiastic to something else, which overlaps with ADHD. Yep. Feel free to continue. Topic.
I know. I'm kind of wondering that ADHD and autism aren't mutually exclusive. They can coexist together.
yes. Yes,
So it's a interesting subject. It's like I want to approach this at the philosophical level, because there is a lot of learning involved with this. I would say that we understand more about the universe than we do about our own minds, and we're discovering more and more about how the brain works. See, reading
Brain
chat.
is a fragile thing.
It is. My work did a presentation recently on the diversity of groups we have within the company that are able to support. They mentioned ADHD and autism as disabilities, which reminded me of how many engineers I know had signs of it. That's just how the team did back then. That's what I know. Yeah, because science is learning more about how autism and ADHD work. And everybody is different, right? Everybody experiences things differently. Everybody communicates differently. Everybody, has different emotions. There's no one person that will have the same type of behavioral output as another person will. In that, like, some of us get prescribed medication to help curb this stuff. Medication, for depression and anxiety and things like that, right? They are not meant to completely fix or change everything in your head. It's meant to make things easier. It's like I told people about depression as a broken bone of the mind. Medication is a splint. Mm-hmm. It's meant to keep things in place while you're trying to heal.
Yes.
Make it easier, but it's not an overnight process. These processes
it's not a cure-all.
No, and sometimes there is no cure. There's only treatments for it. There's only learning how to live with it, and that can make things more difficult. And this is why at the end of Jonah's stream, or Alpha Aniki, about how treat everybody with respect, because you don't know what kind of battles that they're dealing with on the inside, because they don't always show it.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. See, what about bipolar? Is that a disability? Yes. Bipolar is basically where you have really high highs and really low lows. Like, one day you'll be absolutely happy-go-lucky, outgoing, just energetic, and then the next day you'll feel absolutely depressed and don't want to do anything, and you're basically tied to your bed and you don't want to move. that is a real thing. And bipolar disorder and depression and anxiety are kind of in the similar area of diagnosis.
Mhm.
Only a
Yeah, with oh god.
yeah,
sorry.
only a psychologist or a psychiatrist can properly diagnose that type of stuff.
Yeah, a friend of mine does deal with that, and thankfully, I'm just gonna keep them anonymous. And they do watch your show. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So just in case you're watching the VOD, hello. I don't know if you want me to shout you out, but they just changed medications, and the thing is, you may have a doctor that is able to prescribe it, but they're not a mental health professional per se. So having a good therapist that understands when you are going through. So for bipolar disorder, you are dealing with what's known as manic states of being. So very high or very low, so hence the bipolar name. When I first learned about it, I was very confused on the term, and I understand it now. But unfortunately, finding a medication that works for you, sometimes it can do things like enhance it or cause weight gain, and you have to really find what works best for you and what doesn't put you in a bad situation, because unfortunately, they were on a medication that was making things worse, and it's important to understand what is helping you to be able to function as a person. They also deal with mood swings, so
Yep.
that's also a symptom of that. And being able to feel like you're normal and in control, or if let's say I'm feeling depressed, I have to know that I'm safe. This will pass eventually. Trying to cope with it in healthy ways is important. Like I was mentioning to you, exercise, that helps, but when you're depressed, you may not even want to do that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Oh,
bipolar
lithium, oh my gosh.
bipolar disorder can the best analogy that I can put it is like a violent ocean in a storm. It feels like it, and you're just looking for those moments of calm when the waters are finally just short waves instead of big splashes and giant craziness.
It can happen.
Sektzova, I'm not sure what you're trying to refer to.
Unless you mean schizophrenia.
Or schizoid
Lithium
affect.
is.
So yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, I'm not sure, but yeah, lithium really needs to get regulated. That's usually for like more intense cases. Lithium really needs to be regulated. So it can be used for bipolar disorder, but it's not a cure-all.
No, like I said, there's a lot of treatments out there. The feeling of when you want to do something, there's nothing to stop you from doing it, but you still can't get yourself to do it. Oh my goodness, that is a mood. I have gotten to like a certain point in my days sometimes where like I know I have to do something. I want to do this. I should do this. But then some part of my brain says, no, I don't want to. Like two parts of my own mind are fighting each other for who gets control over what.
Oh my gosh.
Schizophrenia? Oh, okay, gotcha. I try to spell it.
Yeah, schizophrenia is interesting. I actually know somebody with it.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about Britney
So
Spears.
for schizophrenia, a major symptom are auditory or not always both, but auditory or visual hallucinations. A good example of this was a friend of mine went to a theater with his husband, and he was commenting about the people in the theater, and then he was told there were no people. It was just the two of them. So mania such as like extreme highs and extreme lows can happen, but that's not usually like the major thing that happens.
Yeah.
And you can take medication for it.
What's really odd sometimes is like when you're hallucinating. It's almost like dreaming while you're awake. Where there's a world around you that's being generated by your own mind. I've had that.
Or as I call it, shitty AI art dreams.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how I can equate
that's
AI
your
art. Yep. It was my quote. Yeah. So for those of you who are kind of wondering, like counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist is a psychiatrist is a licensed doctor that can prescribe medication. A psychologist does not. But they do serve similar purposes. A counselor or therapist who's there to help, kind of treat certain situations and where you try to like better find a path in your life. Sometimes you feel like that you've lost the road in your life to travel on that's smooth and you don't know where to go. So like a counselor or a therapist, they'll pull you to a direction that might work better for you. But they don't want to completely hold the reins, right? They don't want to completely control what you're trying to do. They just want to help you focus on a better opportunity. But sometimes the hardest parts of life in getting, medical help and therapy and things like that is realizing that you eventually will have to pull your own weight. You're eventually going to have to take action.
Yes. You have to lead your horse to water.
Yep.
You have to lead. You are the horse. But also there are places that offer sliding scale. So therapy and getting proper diagnosis is expensive, and not everybody has the means to be able to do that.
Yep.
Let's see. Again, Crystal. That's what's called a mania. So you're in a manic condition for your highs and lows, and that can happen with schizophrenia. Lights can set it off, like anything. A conversation, that's an interesting thing, but you have to know yourself to be able to look for those kind of triggers.
Yeah, it's an ongoing understanding of how the mind works. We're learning more and more about what works and what doesn't. And what's interesting is like scientists and chemical engineers are working every day to try to find out like new drugs to try to treat different things. And what's really interesting is like when they try to focus on one drug, which is its purpose is to focus on these interactions, they find that the drug is actually doing something else completely different than what was intended, but ended up being a good accident, right? Like Viagra, I think was meant to solve one problem and ended up solving another, which is
I
a
think it
complete
started as a
accident.
heart medication.
Yeah.
But yeah, it created something like I'll give you a good one, and it's not a medication. Post-it notes.
The glue was meant to be for one thing, and then ended up just being a light, non-destructive adhesive. So.
Yep.
Cool. Now we have post-it notes.
So the guy was trying to invent something stronger than cyanoacrylate and ended up creating a very soft adhesive that now we use every day. Post-it notes, awesome. Great little invention.
Yeah.
Microwaves
So
were
I
an
guess I'll
accident.
continue on the.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yep.
So for not that we're going to like
Huge sexual topics, but like Viagra was kind of a happy accident. So you have other medications such as Cialis. So for those who want to be able to do certain things and their body is just not having it, being able to have that kind of prescription. Now, the other end of that is you have to make sure it doesn't affect your heart, because originally Viagra was meant to be something to help with cardiac issues, and so you do have to, much like medication for mental health issues, you do have to regulate some things. So yeah, you have to make sure, is this medication going to counteract with either a physical issue, such as you are allergic to alcohol very badly. So you have to make sure that you do not have something like kombucha, which is not a medication, but
I was on the floor huffing my inhaler. Thankfully, I had a rescue inhaler that night.
You scared me that day.
Yeah, it was not a good
I was
not a
calling
good time.
poison control.
Yeah, it wasn't a poison control
I
thing. It was an
called
allergic
poison
reaction thing.
Yeah, but you still react to alcohol, so I called poison control to find out what to do, and Benadryl actually, or
The active ingredient in Benadryl was what was suggested in your case.
Allergies also suck because allergies is basically literally a domino effect. It starts off with a really tiny problem, but then it cascades into a bunch of issues all at once. I looked this up from years ago on why people form allergies, and that whenever you get exposed to something new that your body hasn't had been exposed to before, it sends a sample of what you were exposed to a gland in your armpit, believe it or not. And your body is trying to sample this information and create an antibody to know how to fight it properly the next time around. Well, sometimes the body makes a mistake. The body creates something called an E antibody, which is meant for something much stronger, like a parasite. And that can create a histamine overload in your system, and basically some people will go into anaphylactic shock, which is a fatal reaction, and you end up getting injected with epinephrine to counteract that. Epinephrine is basically artificial adrenaline, which increases your heart rate and increases your white blood cell count and basically helps your body fight it off. unfortunately, we don't know how to reprogram our immune system properly to the intent of trying to stop these fatal allergic reactions from happening, like people with bee stings. And the thing
yeah,
is,
that's
yeah.
nuts and butts also.
Yep. Anyway, I want to change gears here. Head back to the topic of conventions. I think we probably covered up all of our notes. Now I am desperately trying to get
I do
time
have
off
one
for Midwest Fur Fest. What one more? What more do we want to discuss?
It ties into conventions.
It's about artists, but yeah, feel free to continue.
Okay, so I'm trying to get to Midwest Fur Fest. It's become kind of a annual thing now because it's important for me and Eric because it's technically our anniversary, and we want to spend time down there
Looking
because
forward to that.
yep, I want to take you out to dinner and do stuff like that.
That would be nice.
So that is coming up. Midwest Fur Fest is going from November 30th to December 3rd, which I'm hoping I can get that time off because that occurs after Black Friday through Cyber Monday
Yes.
and
yes, it
before
does.
the major part of the holiday season. So if I can get that time off, that would be great. It's snow days.
And also,
Yeah, go ahead.
yes, it is. Oh my God, it's Minnesotan themed.
Yep.
How did they know?
Well, Chicago's no stranger to snow themselves, but last year we got incredibly
yeah.
lucky with little to no snow.
So, interesting thing, chat. I drove back after last year's Midwest Fur Fest from Rosemont, Illinois to Minnesotan land. And the progression of the side of the road and just the roads themselves got wider and wider. It was like, I know where we are now. Snow days is basically Minneapolis and the whole state of Minnesota in a nutshell.
Yes, Minnesota.
So you all in chat know those.
Minnesota.
I hereby decree that the word Minnesota is a public terminology that anybody can use in the Midwest. But yeah.
So Justin, could you, for those who are not familiar with Minnesota, what 2 seasons do you have throughout the year? Because you only get 2.
I accredit this to Kellic J. Tiger, winter and road construction. Because that's pretty much what happens. Okay. Yeah. I'll drink my mini soda in Minnesota, don't you know? You want to know something funny I saw on Reddit, just slightly off topic? Okay,
go for it.
apparently part
2 hours.
part of the Dakotas, North Dakota and South Dakota, that half of their landmass used to be part of the Minnesota type of I think it was like a property or something like that. Used to be part of the state, and then the borders had changed. And
okay,
somebody nicknamed it Mega Soda, and would have actually been larger than Texas. Mega Soda.
Oh, it's like Pangea, but it's just those states, so it's just one giant mass. So Texas, sorry, you're second tier to that. Say your thing, like. Then we were like, all right, we're just gonna break this up here. Okay, we're all part of Canada, like subjectively anyway.
Yeah. So.
Mini Manitoba.
Mini Manitoba. Yep, Mega Soda. I found that on Reddit. I don't remember where, but I'd have to look it up. With Midwest Fur Fest, I think the charity that they're doing this year is Live Like Roo, which is kind of cool. Midwest Fur Fest is excited to announce our 2023 beneficiary charity, the Live Like Roo Foundation. The origin of Live Like Roo goes back to 2015, where Sarah Launch adopted a dog named Roosevelt from the Chicago Animal Care and Control, a municipal animal shelter. A dental exam revealed that Roosevelt, or Roo for short, suffered a bone cancer with poor prognosis. Sarah created a bucket list for Roo so he could live the next 6 months like there was no tomorrow. Now Live Like Roo does the same thing for other animals, providing emotional and financial support families whose pet faces a cancer diagnosis. Applicants can receive grants for cancer care as well as care package, including a blanket, a tennis ball, toys, treats, and a McDonald's gift card. All the things that Roo Rescue Dog loved, particularly McDonald's ice cream cones, which is adorable.
That's wonderful and wholesome. awesome.
In its first 7 years, Live Like Rue has granted more than $2 million for medical treatment, assisting more than 20,000 families facing a pet cancer's diagnosis. 75% of the organization's revenue goes towards veterinarian services, along with another 15% towards care packages. Special funds are also in place to help families with hospice dogs, those hosting rescue and foster dogs, dogs from military and veteran families, those needing assistance for end-of-life care, and even funds for cats. Midwest Fur Fest and its attendees have donated more than $800,000 to animal-related charities since 2000. We expect that generosity to continue. We help the scores of additional pets live like Rue, which has nothing to do with kangaroos, but I think that's adorable. Midwest Fur Fest holds
I think that's really wonderful.
They hold 2 auctions over the convention weekend for its designated charity, a silent auction Friday and Saturday, December 1st and 2nd, in the Dealer's Den next to Live Like Rue's information table, with live auctions Sunday morning, December 3rd, at the Hyatt Regency O'Hara's Rosemont Ballroom. Come and check it out and bring your generosity. That sounds heckin' sweet.
Yes.
My dog and Mindy is...
Do not bring your emotional support fox, please.
Yeah. My dog Mindy's 16 years old, and we unfortunately think she doesn't have a long enough time for this world. But I would love to support a charity
she'd
like
be a good
this.
candidate.
Yeah.
Absolutely, this charity sounds wonderful. So they have a charity auction. So if you are going to Midwest Fur Fest and you would like to donate something to help benefit the charity, as well as some attendees getting some cool stuff, please do think of the awesome work that they're doing. I have donated art in the past. I have presented. It also means Hondo or whoever's watching my table has my phone and I have zero contact. But yeah, I've donated a few things, and I think it's a wonderful cause. So if you cannot make Midwest Fur Fest and you would like to mail something to someone to donate, that is also an option, and would highly recommend. So if somebody just want a hand, feel free to reach out. I will be there. I am 100% being there. Thank you for the lurk, Aaron. I like your emotes. Those are cute. He just had some made recently.
Yeah, those are really adorable. Thank you for the lurk, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Is that Benjamin's?
Do not know. Let me take a look. That's Foxtrot.
It's Aaron's.
How is he? Yeah, Aaron Jevlis,
I didn't realize
guys.
you streamed. That's cool.
Yeah. Actually,
Excellent.
why don't I just do that? Aaron
Mr.
Jevlis.
Ketchup, when are you streaming next?
Yes.
I'm going to call you Mr. Ketchup. Is that okay? Please let me know.
Yeah.
I will make sure Mitt has no proximity to your proximity.
All right, I'll give Aaron a shout out here. Aaron Jevlith is a former roommate of mine. We lived with each other for a couple years. It was interesting, but yeah, we were basically trying to help each other.
COVID? Oh no! Did you got COVID?
That sucks.
Sorry?
Yeah.
We both went through it in January. I'm sorry.
Yep. It felt like the flu on steroids. It sucked. I'm so glad I got vaccinated because if I wasn't vaccinated, that would have been months in the hospital instead of just only a couple weeks feeling like crap. I'm sorry, Aaron. That blows chunks. Jeez.
Oh, on Wednesday. Oh no. Well, it's been past the convention, so I don't think he picked it up from there, thankfully.
Oh my gosh. But do feel better. We were on Paxlovid. It tastes horrible. Get some old grandma candy, aka some Werther's. It helps deal with the taste. But yeah, if you can get Paxlovid, it does help. It is experimental, but it's been shown to have positive results. So if you can look into that, I would recommend it. I'm not a doctor, but a lot of people have had it to help treat their COVID. So from personal experience, it has been good. Both Justin and I had Paxlovid with not good time. It tastes like metal. Blech. It tastes nasty, but it's all good. I didn't pick it up myself. Oh, good. I'm glad you're okay, Aaron. Oh, it started on Monday. Okay. And oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry.
boy.
I wore a mask during the weekend. Because not just COVID, y'all have confunk. You got like strep, bronchitis, mystery virus, cold. Justin got something from work, which we almost didn't get to meet up over the weekend. I snuck a bunch of chicken soup and other things to him.
Oh my God, I was feeling
when I
like
was
crap.
out there.
I was feeling crap.
But it helped you.
It did.
help you, though.
It did help me. I'd say it got me over a huge speed bump. So thank you for that. Brought me a bunch of Campbell's and some soup crackers, and that was great. So I'd happily munched on that stuff. Thank you for the hydrates,
Yeah,
folks.
I did. There you go. I'm at the stage where, oh, okay. Oh, the cough lasted 3 weeks for me. Oh, yeah, get sucking candies. The ones with honey in them are
Yep.
good. What one did I buy you, Justin? Because I bought you my favorite.
You got me some
cough drops.
lemon halls. I had some cherry halls left over, so I had plenty of halls to
I
go.
don't think it was Hall. Was it Halls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got them from Cub. I will say, Aaron Jevils, Mr. Ketchup, if you do need to go out, wear 2 masks and wash your hands.
Yep. Oh my goodness. I need to turn off the stage mirror there. Yeah.
Also take a walk when you can. Go
Yep.
for a walk. It'll help.
Yeah. I basically have sat in a hot shower, just attempting to breathe
Yes.
more regularly. That's helped me out tremendously. See, as far as the Midwest Fur Fest stuff goes, hopefully no more COVID cases, but who knows?
Yeah, please wear a mask at con if you can. Not just because of COVID. We all want your funk.
I don't know if you remember the year Midwest Fur Fest. This was before they went to the Hyatt Regency, where they had the exotic animal rescue group KARE, not related to the news station in Minneapolis, but
Links.
I have gotten to pet some pretty exotic animals over the years of working with conventions. I mean,
Oh, I got something to mention to you.
so just to kind of touch up, at Anthrocon, I met Jim Cummings and Lee Tokar at the same time while petting a penguin behind the scenes of this David L. Lawrence Convention Center in Pittsburgh. Fun, true story. I met them both. It's like I never thought I would be petting a penguin while meeting 2 amazing voice actors. And then at KARE in basically Rosemont, Illinois, which is just I think west of Chicago, but they had brought in some really amazing creatures. I got to pet an alligator.
Yeah, they're bumpy.
Yeah, they're bumpy. They're cold. It's like petting really smooth leather, like wet leather. I'm not sure how to describe it.
It's living leather.
Yep. They're not cuddly like your typical animals are, but they're amazing nonetheless. I will give them
I don't
credit.
know. Rex looks pretty cuddly.
Yeah.
We have a local stunted alligator actually at the Snake Discovery location.
Yeah.
Her name is Rex, and she's a small alligator.
I also got to pet.
She's somebody's pet.
I got to pet a skunk. Skunks are adorable.
I love skunks.
I
love
asked them,
skunks.
"What do you feed a skunk?" And they said, "Anything." They literally eat whatever.
Yeah.
They're omnivorous. They like yogurt. They like broccoli. They'll eggs. They love eggs. Yeah, small. Aaron Jellith, have you been to Snake Discovery? Rex is a rescued alligator that spent way too much time in a box with poor lighting and nutrition. Check it out. They are
Not too far from you, actually. Look it up. It's Snake Discovery. Emily's a really nice person. I got to meet her. I did not meet her husband, but I'm blanking on his name, but he's nice also. But yeah, so they're a rescue slash
reptile breeder. Lives in Minnesota, and so you can't pet Rex now, but she's there. But Justin, I actually thought about this. So for next year, if you were able to come down here at any point, I happen to know a place where you could hold a fennec.
That might be
It's
an
called
interesting.
Darby Acres
yeah.
Farm. They're very nice folks.
I have not been there in a few years because, pandemic happened. But I have done portraits for them, and they have a variety of animals there, which includes capybaras. One of them was less skittish than the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have fennecs there. One of them, her name is Margaret. She's fine with being held.
Fennecs are small and
Hey,
foofy. Yuki!
Stealing a
I'm
fennec?
stealing a Yuki's
to
as
see you.
cute as a fennec, by the way.
Yuki is precious.
Now, speaking of holding really adorable animals, remember KARE? I was going to continue to talk about that.
Yes.
They
Yeah, go for it.
they had 2 Canadian lynxes. Denali, who was not very happy
big
with
murder
humans
rappers.
being nearby. They're very hissy. And then an 8-month-old Canadian lynx named Juno. Not related to Beastars in any way. Now, this was a cub, mind you. An 8-month-old house cat is small potatoes compared to an 8-month-old Canadian lynx. Imagine a house cat that's somewhere around 3 to 4 times the size, with paws as big as my fist, And with the
Murder
strength,
rappers.
yeah, this cat could jump 6 feet without any effort whatsoever, and was incredibly fluffy, like the fluffiest cat I've ever held.
They're made for Minnesota weather.
Yeah, well, yeah, in general in Midwest, and I think Canadian lynx is obviously from Canada, and Manitoba and Nova Scotia, and Quebec, and they tend to roam all that area. It was really kind of cool. Let's see.
Not a wilderness.
Remember going to a gator farm place in Wisconsin Dells? Tried pushing a piece of meat through a tube to help feed them, but the piece landed smack dab in the center of the gator's head.
Oh no, that's
That's funny. It is actually pretty adorable. I was just thinking of going through tubes. There was a zoo that had a trained lioness. And they invited people to play tug of war with this lioness. The lioness
gonna win.
A lioness took on like 4 big, strong, burly men, and she wasn't even trying. She was holding onto the rope and didn't budge. And I'm like, that is insanely strong how lions are. And it gave me like a newfound
pure
respect.
muscle.
Yep. They are built for
It's
this
like
stuff.
a feline horse.
Pretty much. Thank you for the hydrate again, Aaron. I appreciate it.
That's right. Punish your kidneys.
Yeah.
So they don't punish you.
Hmm.
Actually, you could probably touch on this. So the Minnesota Zoo had a still very large but juvenile tiger that was having a ball in his own kiddie pool. If you want to talk about that, we were there back last year, I think, about a year ago.
Kiddie pool juvenile tiger. Oh God, what happened?
We saw the
there?
tiger at the Minnesota Zoo. He's
Yeah.
like rolling around and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God, this cat was literal caffeine, cat fiend, if you will. I am also strong. I'll smell after Beat Saber. Oh jeez, Thomas, you poor thing.
Yeah, you're
so-
a master of Beat Saber, man.
I can't do Beat Saber. I absolutely suck at it, and I'm not investing any more money into songs.
You got applause. We were at FWA,
I
and for
suck
the first
at it.
time, like
No.
Justin was playing with it, and people
No.
applauded him. He's like,
No.
"Oh, I only got a B."
No.
I'm like, "No,
No.
you're great. I had to lean on a freaking chair so I wouldn't fall over." He was good. Chat, you're in denial. you're in Egypt. You're visiting Egypt.
Whether we want to talk about Beat Saber or cat stuff, I don't know.
Aaron, cons. We're talking about conventions. It's all full circle. So you held Juno with his adorable murder bappers.
Yeah, and then the
Small-
tiger
small
we were talking about, the
kitten.
Minnesota Zoo, who just happened to be playing around in the little kiddie pool. Like this
Yeah.
tiger cub wasn't even a year old yet, and was already larger than me, right? And that is frightening. Like adult tigers can be 600 pounds, maybe even more, and they're pure muscle.
So something I learned. This also goes con related.
So Megaplex for a few years had their version of Care, K-A-E-R,
What is it?
K-A-R-E.
K-A-R-E. There we go.
Yeah.
So they would occasionally, with the permission of the venue, bring in a Florida Panther, and they had them on leash and all good. So the bigger the cat is, the bigger the allergies.
Oh,
a friend of
yeah,
mine that
yep,
was,
yep.
I think, living in California was freaking dying.
Oh,
Herbie. So a friend of mine that works for Disney Animation worked on The Lion King, and they would
Bring in live animal models, which is how I learned about the bigger the cat, the bigger the allergies. So your
bigger the
adorable little
payload.
lynx,
Yeah.
the bigger the payload.
so you're like, aw, you're cute. Look at those adorable allergies. You get a big cat in, there's more surface area.
Yep.
It's not so much the pile of the fur. You're gonna be
So yeah, if
Poor dude
a
must have been
charity brings in a
suffering.
very large cat,
God.
please take caution. If you're allergic to like a raccoon or something, keep that in mind if you're interacting at a convention. Back to the convention stuff. That's right. It's all full circle, Aaron.
It's quite the treat. At MFF last year, I think they had brought in a fennec, but due
Oh,
to
it was FWA. I think.
was it FWA?
I think it was FWA. It was
Well,
Georgia.
I wasn't.
It was Georgia.
Okay, that was 2 years ago because I wasn't at last year's FWA. So it was 2 years ago.
I wasn't at the 2023. You were at 2022, so it was last year.
But I wasn't at FWA last year.
Yeah, you were. I flew you down.
No, that was 2 years ago. I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't at last FWA. I was at the FWA the year before.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You were at 2022. You were not at 2023 because I was not at 2023. We went to the Georgia Aquarium
that's
after
what
the convention.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just getting my noise stuff mixed up. But anyway.
It's all good. No
yeah,
worries.
because I forgot about FWA for this year had already happened. So yeah, that's the one I wasn't at.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes,
But
I was not there due to my foot.
anyways, too many FurCons, I know. So
Too many cons.
they brought out a Fennec, but no one was allowed to pet it due to local laws.
Correct.
Because in order to have a Fennec, you have to have a license. You have to be a licensed wildlife rehabilitator or something like that, or a specialist. Which is ironic for someone who was around back when there was only 6 total FurCons in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, those Fennecs are so beautiful and adorable. But this poor Fennec looks so stressed out and sleepy. Just being surrounded by noise. And Fennecs, basically, they are satellite dishes when it comes to ears. You know, they can hear all sorts of things.
We could be Fennecs.
Yeah. Well, just think of it this way. Fennecs, they are basically designed for the desert, and their ears are basically designed to help them listen for like bugs. They eat bugs of all kinds, and small rodents and things like that. Yeah.
It's to help radiate the heat. That's
Yep.
primarily. It is good for sound, but it's also for the expulsion of heat because they little dudes and it's hot.
Multi-purpose.
So it is multi-purpose. Absolutely. Thank you, Emerlinks.
Yep. And they're very adorable too. I was watching one video of a Fennec, which is super fun. Someone had got an ostrich egg, right?
They have 2 modes.
And
Yes.
despite these 2 Fennecs' sincerest efforts, they could not break into this ostrich egg. But they knew they wanted it.
No.
And they were just sitting
You
there
know what's
clawing at
funny
it.
is-
It's so funny. Yeah.
Those guys have 2 modes. They're either like 60 miles an hour or sleep.
Hyperfloof or off.
That's correct.
Yep.
And to watch these guys spaz, they're hilarious. People keep them as pets. They are exotics in the U.S. But yeah, if you give them like a strawberry or something, it's the funniest thing. As long as it's healthy for them to have, like a... I gave them a Cheeto. There's a video of like my camera's stuck in my hand. Of a Fennec with a Cheeto. You can find it on YouTube. Don't give them Cheetos, but it's still kind of cute. I can't move my camera. There it goes.
What one more note did we write down? I apologize.
Oh, about artists helping artists, and that's something I wanted to talk about. So just let me know when it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So last night, we were having a conversation, and I had shown Justin my desktop, which included a photo of a friend of mine who's, if you happen to be a Megaplex, if you're tuning in, he's at Brian Reynolds / TuneFox. I think the banner
Says TuneFox on it. And he's been helping myself and a few others at conventions by selling some of their things, kind of like an agent. And I had shown Justin a list of some of the sales, and he asked if I was giving a percentage of it. I said, well, we trade a lot. And an example of that is trading's table space. If I get into an event, he doesn't, we'll trade, we'll have one of us as the assistant, for instance, helping each other with gas money, taking each other out to dinner, whatever. And at Furry Migration, I think an artist had left a bunch of their panels behind. Somebody had some extras that they were able to donate temporarily, borrow. People trading supplies, trading pins. Someone was giving out, one of the dealers wanted to give popcorn. They had 2 giant bags, as I called it, the bags of drama. 2 giant bags of popcorn and a bunch of solo cups, and they were giving them away to artists so that, they're if they're hungry. One dealer mentioned that she was kind of stuck by herself, and I said, do you want me to watch your table for a moment? And she's like, no, I'll be fine. So if Brian needs to, say, use the restroom, I will watch the table, or he'll help me, usually with table nibbles. Neighbors, sorry if I talk funny sometimes. Oh, hey, Angel, that's Greetings. If
I get into Midwest Fur Fest, for instance. I applied. They have table applications available. I need to also apply for FWA. Justin and my friend Hondo, who's Seamus, have offered to help if they're available as well. And just people helping each other, and I think that's very wholesome. And I needed some tape from Brian, and he had tape. It turns out I found my tape later, but I've had people ask for like a badge punch. Aaron was at the convention last year and needed a phone charger, so I had a cable. Brian had a little plug for it, so just helping folks.
We
Just
tend
things
to
like
take
that.
care of
And
each
I
other.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes.
Hello, Angel.
There are there are communities online where
People will share each other's table pictures, and they'll be like, "Oh, where'd you get that shelf? What printer are you using? Where can I get a table runner?" And
we will share information. They may not share, like, say, a manufacturer, but if you
Right.
just want to have a setup,
folks are happy to share because it's the point is to help each other make things better.
and build each other up.
And I'd
Right.
say the same thing with like fursuit makers, like finding
to hydrate.
Fur and patterns and just techniques, sharing techniques. Like, I want to learn more about 3D printing, for instance. Or if, hell, voice actors. We're trying to figure out how do you make your audio setup better? What type of filters are you using? What kind of mics? How do you set this up? What does this cost? There's too many microphones out there, folks. Help me out. I need it. I'm working on getting a better setup for various things. But yeah, just helping each other. And I saw that at Furry Migration and other conventions too. I use FM as the example because I was just there. I'm pretty sure that's happening at Megaplex right now, and Eurofurence, and hell, anime conventions. I'm sure if you were at like Anime Expo, stuff like that. Do you want to touch on any of that?
I always love helping out artists, and just in general. I've encountered
the battery.
You should.
the battery.
Yeah, remember you loaned a cable.
Oh,
or
that's
something,
right.
so
Yeah.
the battery.
I have done that. I've created a meme on the internet that I hope it's spread around a little bit. You remember the Mercy meme coming out with the beacon of light to this person who's kind of crawling
yes.
under. So I
Yes.
I put it like me or like me my phone at 5% charge, and then here's Mercy coming in, a nerd friend with a cable and a battery pack, being your savior.
Yes.
That it always, to do little helpful things. I've encountered a lot of people at Midwest Fur Fest, a lot of really amazing artists that I would love to support from, here on forever. Orlando Fox and Cider Bond and Dr. Wildlife.
Yeah.
And,
I just saw them.
they are absolute sweethearts. I love each and every single one of them. And sometimes I'm a little depressed walking through a dealer's den because it's like, I want to spend money on every single one of these booths and I can't, right? Because
it's okay.
everybody sells amazing stuff. Everybody sells amazing stuff. I want to buy something from everybody, and I can't. It sucks.
Just pick up more of my bandanas
to give
Yeah.
folks. It's okay.
I tease.
I remember one year we had come across an unfortunate circumstance. Rachel Neo and Mr. Bubbles and I, poor Bubbles, forgot their wallet, but they were able to recover it.
Oh no.
I just happened to bump into them at the con, and I was just kind of walking around the con with them and just kind of experiencing things together. But there's a side subject with the dealer's den that I do kind of want to bring up. That's kind of sketchy.
Oh sure.
And that's resellers.
Theft?
Well, not just
Oh,
theft.
yes,
Theft is
yeah.
definitely something I want to talk about, which we kind of touched on with like avatar theft earlier in this stream. But
yeah.
like resellers, if what you're selling has nothing to do with the furry culture, it feels like you're just out of place. Because if you're just going on to Amazon, buying a bunch of cheap stuff, and then setting up a dealer's area and just reselling the same stuff for a profit, you're not doing the fandom any services. I go to the fandom, the dealer's den, to buy things that are furry. Buy tails, buy artwork, buy stickers, buy, trinkets, buy comic books, get commissions, get badges, all sorts of things that are just amazing. And to just see all this stuff being sold at the conventions that is just things that I can buy off of Amazon or Etsy or whatever for cheaper. It just makes me think that you guys are just taking up a slot at the con that could have been given to another artist that is in the furry fandom.
It's not just that. Anthrocon, this happened. There was a reseller, which, if it's fandom adjacent, like, say, a publisher, I'm okay with that. But, like, if you're selling things that are bootlegs, like, there were trading cards, I think, and
geez.
something else. They had bootlegs. I encountered this, but not at a convention, but at the Minnesota, it was the Twin Cities Pride. I bought what I ended up being a bootleg pin, where the actual artist was at Anthrocon. It was Catmint Studios.
Ooh.
It turns out a number of their pins have been bootlegged multiple times, and it could be just somebody thought, oh, this is cool. They buy it on Etsy or Amazon, or hell, there's resellers on Amazon too, or AliExpress, and you're like, oh, I want this. It's just a little extra thing to sell. You buy it for cheap, you mark it up, and it turns out it's stolen work. I don't know if they knew that it was stolen work, but I did tell Catmint, I'm like, after I confirmed that, yes, this is on their website, both Catmint's legit ones and the bootlegs on the reseller. I mean, they're just making like pet bandanas and stuff, but like, why is this a thing? And unfortunately, Chinese bootlegs are a thing, and it sucks.
But
Much
you
like
gave
people
them the
ripping off
bootleg
Avatar.
pin, and you bought the real one from them.
I did!
Yeah.
Yes, so
Fun story, chat. My roommate, Cineru, lovely individual. We staff NCAS together. I'll probably help them tomorrow with some duties related to the con, but con stuff. But we were hanging out, and Cineru loves to support and follow various artists, and they have the means to do so, and I think that's great. And so I had shown them a pin that I gotten from the Pride event. And it's a bat pin that just says "Stay Spoopy" on it, or "Spooky." I'm sorry, it says "Stay Spooky." It's just a black bat
with some, I think, gold text and gold pin. You gotta hydrate. And I thought it looked cute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunately soft enamel and no signature on the back. So when I showed it to them, they're like, "Oh, I think I know whose that is." Brings up Etsy. I see the legit one on there, and I was told they have a table at the convention. I'm like, oh, really? So I went over to them and mentioned to them my encounter, found out it was a bootleg, offered to give it to them, which I had to come back later because I left it in my backpack, bought the real one. So the fake one, I think, was $6. The real one was $14. Do support the actual artists if you can. And I came back later and gave them the fake one. I told them I can't in good conscience keep this. I would just throw it out, but I figured you would probably just kind of want to have it kind of as like a novelty thing. Like, here's it's like having a fursuit and then seeing a Chinese knockoff, and then buying the fake one just because it's funny, but it's also sketchy. So I gave them a fake one and bought the real one, and then I lost it and found it again. So I have that currently on my my Halloween themed Lolita cord right now because has a little funny story with it. But yeah, I was just surprised not only to learn I owned a bootleg unknowingly. I bought this fake thing. So same thing, like if you, let's say, bought an Avatar not knowing it was a bootleg, you may not know until it's too late.
I wonder how many other pins out there that were bootleg.
Oh, tons.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, just for fun, was I posted a tweet a couple days ago on Ask Me Anything. And you guys had done a lot of different questions, and I wanted to at least answer them on stream here for you guys. But I will say that these questions can also be answered by you, Eric, if you so desire. I did it on Blue Sky, and I've also done it on Twitter. Let's see.
Yeah. And Chad, if you have any questions specifically for me, feel free to put it in the chat. Or Justin, if you have any live questions you want to ask either of us. The only thing I ask is please keep them Twitch appropriate. I'm very open about myself, but since we are live on the air and this is being recorded, that's the only thing I ask. It can be somewhat adult as long as it's appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, and feel free to ask these questions in channel. First of all, on the Twitter, Blackfoot Ferret had asked, what is the best trampoline accessory?
That's great. Oh, I thought of something. Go ahead.
Well, I'm letting you answer that question first.
Oh, ball pit balls. Picture like an enclosed trampoline, and you
Yeah.
put ball pits in there. Have you seen a video of Fox like jumping on it and then
Yes.
starts using it like a toy? Hell,
Yeah.
I'll have foxes in there too. Ball pit balls and foxes.
That would be awesome,
Bears.
actually. I was gonna say a safety net outside the perimeter, but adding a bunch of like balls in it would be awesome, and foxes.
I
See,
can't picture you on one of those.
NSM was asking, what is your favorite color? I have
for me?
I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but what is your favorite color?
Teal that's on this outfit. I didn't create the outfit. I'm actually, if anybody knows a avatar maker or somebody who makes clothes, I need a dress suit for this character. I don't like dresses, sorry. But the teal that's on like the legs and the stomach, probably the stomach here, that is my favorite color. It's very welcoming. How about yourself?
So it's either blue or red for me, honestly. I like red's intensity. I like
Yes.
blue's calmness, and that's pretty much me. Let's see, Bookish Kitty.
Your eyes are teal.
Romy Line asking, what are the places you would like to visit? Where would you like to visit the most? I mean, it could be a number of places.
Coon Rapids.
You've been
Obvious
here.
reasons.
You've been here already
So?
many times.
So,
I won't come back.
if I have an opportunity to go somewhere,
I want to go to Hokkaido and
Hokkaido?
also
Yeah, there you go.
parts of Scotland.
Nice.
So in Hokkaido, which is northern Japan, they have what's known as dwarf flying squirrels,
Aw.
and I just want to see them in the wild. And in Scotland, they have red squirrels, and they have little tufted ears, and they're cute. If you're familiar with the art of Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit is by her. She has red squirrels featured in there, and I just think they're awesome. That's the only reason I want to see those.
Let's see. So for me, definitely Germany, Japan, Denmark, the United Kingdom. I would definitely like to visit any of those places. And when I say the United Kingdom, I'm talking like the whole of it. England, Wales, Northern Ireland,
Everything.
Scotland. I would love to visit all of it. Isle of Man. So yeah,
all the Brexit areas.
Yep. all the different languages out there, and make an attempt to learn more Welsh, because hey, you know what, I'm gonna admit it, Bardic, I love your accent. Your Welsh accent is awesome. It sounds wonderful to my ears.
You want to learn all the syllables
Yeah.
and a couple of Y's?
Let's see,
I got a question for you.
go ahead.
Are there any languages that you have not dabbled in that you would like to learn?
That is a very interesting question. I've dabbled in a lot of different languages, so to say if there's a language I want to learn that I haven't dabbled in would be a difficult question to answer. Because like I've already dabbled in a lot of different Scandinavian languages. I've already dabbled in like Japanese. German is currently my second language, although I don't know enough of it to be fluently conversational like I am with English.
You know enough to insult somebody.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
No.
Geez, that is such a hard question to answer.
I got one for you. How do you say in Deutsch, I'm a dumb American, but I need to use the bathroom?
Ich bin eine dumme Amerikaner, aber ich muss die Toiletten benutzen. I have no idea. My German
You're
is
fine.
terrible.
You'll be fine.
You didn't know I speak German?
You're king.
I do not
Get
speak
okay.
German properly. My grammar is awful. I understand that.
Oh, you're fine. You're intelligible.
Which is worse, mustard or mint, and why is the answer both? That is for you to decide.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Oh, not together. Together is just nasty. Don't
You
do
can
that.
fully understand it? Okay. For those of you in chat, English is the primary language of this channel, and we only permit other languages being spoken when we have allowed it. So, I didn't know you spoke German, Ghetto King. Anyway.
I like that you put the microphone next to Justin can't finish the sandwich. That's the emote. That's fantastic.
You're from
The
Jersey?
mic's on you. Oh, you're.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, well.
Oh.
With permission, can Ghetto King write to you in German in Deutsch?
Yeah, I would only understand
Like
maybe bits and
English, right?
pieces of it. So basically, okay, here's a funny
Go for
story.
it.
Here's a funny story. I've known Tanita Real since before Anthrocon. I've known her since technically 2003, although we don't really communicate very much anymore. I was part of the furry forum way back when, and I finally met her in 2006, and what a sweetheart. She is the one that designed some of the artwork that I use. I think I might have removed one of the emotes. No, it's still there. That emote is actually
can
her
check.
artwork. It is actually from a badge that she did a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And
In the land of Minnesota.
this is back then. My German was not very good, and I was attempting to speak German, and then her response was, "Die deutsche Sprache ist eine Schwersprache." Basically, roughly translated, German is difficult, and that is basically a sign that says you made a mistake in your grammar. Despite English being a Germanic language, it does not follow the same grammatical structures as German. However, if you were to take a look at Old English as a language, Old English, its grammar is actually closer to German than modern
Knappe.
English is. Yep. And Old English is also orthographically similar to Icelandic. And Icelandic is a North Germanic language. Versus,
Is
say like
old school.
Dutch is a West Germanic language. Now, when we're talking about the two major dialects of German, Hochdeutsch
Wait.
and Plattdeutsch, Hochdeutsch is High German, but that doesn't refer to being higher than or better than. It has to deal with referring to the version of German that is spoken and the higher elevations of the land.
I thought Icelandic was a derivative of an older version of Scandinavian languages.
Scandinavian is a North Germanic language. Yeah.
I see. Okay,
Yep.
got it.
So they're all part of that same
trying to
family.
follow.
Yes, German can be hard.
Okay, got it.
So they're all branched from the same origins: Dutch, Frisian,
I see.
English, German.
Yes, Frisian.
Plattdeutsch is basically the bridge. Plattdeutsch or Flat German is basically the lower elevations where German was spoken, and actually has some ties to Danish as a language. People from Denmark might have dabbled in a little bit on Plattdeutsch. There's also a version of German that is spoken here in the United States, in Pennsylvania, called Pennsylvania Dutch, which is usually used amongst the Amish community, which has think of it like German but more simplistic and doesn't follow the grammar 100%. Is closer towards English grammar, and people who speak German as their primary language can understand Pennsylvania Dutch to a certain extent, but still sounds a little bit foreign. Yeah, a lot of it came from the Anglo-Saxons when Saxons came to England in the early Middle Age. Yes.
Yep.
You can actually look this up on Vsauce. Michael does a good job explaining England, because the Anglo-Saxons that took over that area, that
England.
island. What do we call this new place? England. England, English. That's, you can actually see how the words have changed over the years. So you can actually hear remnants of certain words in English that can be derived from German. So think of the German word for dog, for example. You know what that word is?
Hund.
Hund. Yeah, Hund. Where do you think the word Hund comes from? What is the English equivalent of Hund? Hound.
Hound.
Yep. That. So because of how the languages have changed over time, hound and hund don't directly translate to each other, but they are related. But there's also these false friends. Yep. What's that?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. There's latency. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
So like there's false friends where words look similar in two languages, but actually have completely different meanings. Because of that shift that's happened over the many years. So for like example, protocol in German is not protocol in English. It means log file, which is very weird. Yep.
Fart gas.
Yeah, they said apple is a good example. Old English word for it was apple or apfel, because that consonant shift. Guess where the word dollar comes from? It comes from Thaler in German. Yeah, because there's something called a consonant shift, where the D became a T and vice versa. You can actually
Another interesting thing
Go ahead.
regarding languages, the author Chaucer,
Mm-hmm.
at the time, if we're going back to England again, there were multiple uses in this, in not too proximity, because people didn't travel too far from their village, but one word spoken one place, let's say the word egg, may be called something else somewhere else. So when Chaucer put a
Yep.
collection of his stories together, I'm blanking on the title, he had to pick and choose, and because those works still survive today,
Yep.
whatever egg was shown to be previously, which I can't remember what it was called in Old English, but egg survived while another word died off. And this is for different words. Let's say there was a word for dog, for instance. We use dog, but whatever it may have been called in a different area of England went away. So you are picking and choosing who, in a phonetic sense, who lives and who dies, just because of those works surviving,
Yep.
and we continue to use it because it's organized, like a dictionary.
If you look at
American English versus British English,
Yep.
the lack of U's that are still incorporated in, let's say, Canadian dialect. You'll see neighbor and heck, the word check too. You'll see different variants of words being used because of what has been continued to be used independently. So let's say the U.S. American colonists wanted to be different than the English government,
Mhm.
so they want to be different. So words
Right.
were changed to just kind of show their independence. So you having uses of certain things drop, such as the letter U in neighbor.
Yep.
It's a,
Right.
languages are interesting.
And so just to touch a little bit more on that before we get to the next questions here.
Oh, sure.
There is old characters that English no longer uses that is still present
I like
in
it.
Icelandic, but aren't used today, which is the eth and the thorn. Eth
yes.
looks a little bit like a D, but with a little cross in it. A thorn looks like a P, but with like an extended line.
Oh, I know the letter you're talking about. Yeah.
Now, and basically, in old writing systems, eth and thorn were used interchangeably, but eth was for the voiced consonant th, the, this, that, there, then, and then the thorn was the voiceless th, thick, thin, etc.
Oh, yes.
Right? And because typographers basically had to create a lot of different shortcuts, and there was two errors that you see, where the character.
Ghetto King touches on that.
Yep.
as
Another
well, if
reason
you
why
look in the chat.
letters is dropped is because back in the day, every letter on a newspaper cost a lot, and they dropped what they didn't need. Yes, very true. Now, in German, there is no th. That type of consonant does not exist. So you hear a lot of s and a lot of duh instead, because I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know what it is, but a lot of other countries that have difficulty learning the th. Now, usually in Scandinavian countries and Icelandic, the th. Oh, we'll let Yuki on then. That's fine. The th isn't used very often in other Germanic languages, but it is used in a lot of Scandinavian languages. So people who are from Scandinavian areas don't usually have a problem with the th sound. It's basically when the tip of your tongue is pushed very lightly on the back of your top teeth. And some kids are kind of embarrassed to do that because they're worried about sticking their tongue out or something like that. So you end up hearing a th sound instead of a th sound. Right?
If you were, say, speaking Hebrew, the ch would make a ch, and you'll hear that in Arabic as well.
Yep. That ch sound is also heard in German and in some Gaelic languages, like Scottish and Irish Gaelic.
Yes.
As
Oh,
Welsh
yes,
Gaelic.
very much
Welsh
in
Gaelic
Gaelic.
too. Yep. You also have a hard ch and a soft ch,
ahead.
but anyway. I
I have a question for
Lagax. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I was gonna go way off topic because we're trying to ask questions. I gotta read all these other questions. We're going way off topic.
We have time to fill. It's all
All
good.
right.
So, Lagax,
Somebody was in the Megaplex instance singing a Polish song.
he said it's a meme song about a cow. Do you know anything about that? He didn't quite give it a title. I'm just curious since you speak Polish.
Is Yuki a Sprigatito?
So, what other questions do we have?
So
Oh, yeah, she is.
we can talk about languages all day long. We have before. We don't want to bore our audience. But anyway, favorite music, says Silly Mom. What's your favorite music?
Oh, for me,
I was asked this yesterday. I don't really have favorite music. I don't
really listen to music all the time.
I'd say kind of. Oh, okay. I can give you a genre. I really like death metal.
I'm just a quiet individual who think of a Gretzko. It's like, oh, and then you just get your rage out. It's great. It's just fun music. It's great for road trips, and throw a beat to that and it slaps. Throw bagpipes. Heavy metal music and bagpipes sound amazing together. If you have never done it.
Yeah, I have heard
song.
that.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
So I know the song is about drug abuse and depression. Oh, geez. Oof. The
oh
Polish
dear,
cow
I
song.
sounded so happy too. Can you record that for me, Lagix, if you're willing?
There was, okay.
Hello in the lobby.
A great way to learn new languages is to listen to languages being sung. If you don't want to be on camera, Yuki, that's fine. We're just up on stage.
We do have a seat.
Hello, Yuki.
If you would like to join us. If you, if you want to be in the audience, that's fine too.
Yeah. How adorable you are.
That's fine.
First, I thought you were like a sprigatito.
Hello, good to see you last night.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your colors. You're adorable. Look at
Let's
that.
see.
Like
Let
little
me adjust my
blue.
camera here real fast, and then I'll actually pull it out, and Yuki can have a seat over
So-
the chair there. And then I gotta move
found
my
out
text
something
again.
I'm sure.
Interesting. Oh, that's funny. Me too.
Alright.
I found out in the Megaplex instance, I guess because of restrictions, people could see my otter. Oh, are you in desktop? But they could not see my fox. They only saw the fallback character because I had the creator of the fox box was on the Megaplex side, and Brian took photos, and I sent him photos from my end, and turns out they couldn't see my fox. It was sad.
Hmm.
Couldn't see his child.
Oh. No, that's. Oh, well,
Yeah. Hey, chat.
No,
I'm gonna
you
take a
was all
30-second break here, real quick. I gotta go answer the call of nature because you guys have been redeeming way too many hydrates. So, Eric's
Punish
in the
your
middle.
kidney so it doesn't punish
Alright.
you.
I'll be right back, chat. Don't go away.
All right. Hey everybody, this is Yuki XG. She's a lovely bean who also streams. You have done a lot of traveling lately.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
So,
I was there yesterday at the portal, so. I was
Yeah, that's
watching.
cool.
I remember.
Let's see, I'm gonna look at. Oh, thank you, Lagx. Okay, I will have to go back and let me. I'm afraid I'll load it because I'll hear it in my headset now. VR chat avatars, backup avatars are today's white and gold version, blue and black. Yeah, it's true. I need to make a fallback version of my Fox because nobody can see it unless I have the Quest version on, which does not have my colors, and it was a public model given to me to use as needed. But hello, her avatar. Can you see the chat by any chance? I don't know. I think you're in desktop, correct?
Oh. Hold on.
Lagx says her avatar is precious. Aw, yes, Yuki is very precious.
Oh,
So yeah, we're
I I just got this avatar. I won a raffle from.
very cool.
So the creator
nice.
of this avatars gave me a code, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of sus, you know, like somebody giving me a promo code. But then I realized it was the
It's the
creator.
person
I
made
was
it.
like, oh, yippee.
Well,
'Cause
nice.
these
I
cost
never
like
won
50
anything.
bucks.
Oh wow! Actually, funny enough, I think mine did as well. So, mine is the Otteroo, and I'm blanking on the creator's name. I apologize. I can probably look it up. But yeah, we're having some conversational topics today. It's very. I think we were last talking about languages, but we're also talking about conventions and
Etiquette and
Oh yeah.
fun
There you go.
international things as well. So
thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah.
we're trying
Oh,
and
Lagix. Lagix. Okay. Yeah. I like
Yuki,
my
you're such a
outfits.
sweetheart.
They're mostly based on Overwatch. This is a Mercy, the Mercy logo
Oh!
shirt.
What
And
about
then
Mercy?
I have the Overwatch logo.
Oh, cute. I like
Because
that.
I'm into Overwatch.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes, you
love
are.
Mercy, so these
Fortnite,
I'm a Mercy.
Overwatch.
Guilty.
I make stuff.
Just to cap on that, by the way, September 30th, big Fortnite event. A lot of streamers are going to get involved with that, including myself, so it's going to be really awesome. We're still setting it up right now, so we'll get you more details as it becomes available. just a real quick, no streams for the next 2 days. I believe the next day we're going to stream is on the 19th. We'll probably chill and do something else at the time.
Yep, me too.
But just to say that I want to do more streams like this. I want to do more talk shows like this. This is fun. This is entertaining. It's relaxing. It's chill. It's a vibe. Have guests on the air. We had Photographer earlier. Now we got Yuki, who is an absolute sweetheart. We love her very much. And then, so we'll probably do more of these in the future. Can't wait. And Lagix, who has just been a tremendous supporter of the community. I can't thank you enough, too. By the way,
yeah, you're awesome.
so I got something important to say when it comes to certain things concerning the Azure atmosphere. I have 2 invite codes available. And for the future, what I will do is I will actually use these codes, and people can get a chance to win one of those codes by just watching the stream and being involved. So we're going to do that in the future. I'm going to be saving up these codes for people who want to join up with Blue Sky, and they'll have a chance to win those on the stream if you guys aren't already part of Blue Sky.
I'm considering doing the same, so I will periodically ask folks on Twitter, do any mutuals need a hand getting to the Azure atmosphere? After a while, people just stop responding. I'm like, well, what do I do now? So yeah, giving them away is a good way to help give back.
To jump back on Silly Mom's question, what's your favorite music? For me, I like techno, I like trance, I like ambient, I like I like mashups. Those are really exciting to me. So that's the stuff I like. Lionheart VRC is asking, how old are you? Can I stop counting, please? I'm not answering that question.
Yep. Here's the answer. We know when Anthrocon started.
We have seen The Lion King in the theater.
And we're the same age.
Yep. So that's I think that's enough information. Lagx, you had posted this on Twitter. I know I jokingly call you Fur Dad, but have you ever in your life actually considered being a dad for real? No. There's a lot of reasons why not. Okay. Now, I will say this. Let me count. 1, 2, chair, infinity, 5. Okay. Here's the reasons why I do not wish to be a father. It is a ongoing responsibility. It is a lifetime commitment to raise an offspring. Not just in work and money, but in love and in dedication and in creating a society for them to basically perpetuate the race, the human race, right? That kind of responsibility, that ongoing learning, you're basically teaching yourself how to be a parent as you're doing it. You have to be consistent, you have to be caring, you have to be emotionally supportive, you have to be there for both the good times and the bad, and be that bridge, that pillar of strength, right? To raise a child is more than just a simple responsibility. It is a commitment of love and care. That type of responsibility is far greater than I personally wish to be able to do. I like supporting people. I like supporting my friends. I like supporting my loved ones. But I myself could not bear that responsibility of raising a child. I do not want that upon myself. Now, for those of you who have children of your own, I commend you. I think that's tremendous to be able to have your own children. I will be protective of children. I personally do not like children. However, I will make sure that a child is protected, right? I will throw myself in harm's way to ensure a child survives. Because, they are the future. And I think it's important to realize that they are given a solid foundation of support so that they can grow up feeling like that they're worth something in society, that they can contribute something tremendous. So for me, personally, I don't want children, but for those who do, I support you. Hopefully that's an answer that's acceptable. What's your thought, Eric?
For me, I have never wanted children of my own, but I have always enjoyed inspiring or teaching or entertaining other kids. I do not feel I would in my best opinion, want the responsibility for being responsible for someone's life and well-being. I will do what I can to help make somebody's life better, but when I was teaching, it was, I would describe it as birth control. I
Yeah.
used to teach, like, 1-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4 and 5-year-olds, and it's a lot of work to be a parent. If you are a parent, I fully support what you do, because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of finances, and it's not something I want to feel fulfilled. Some folks would be like, oh, you'll understand when you have your own. I don't want that. I'm afraid to ever, and I probably do have the means. I don't want to find out if I can get pregnant. The idea of me becoming pregnant scares me. I honestly rather adopt or help foster. If I wanted the opportunity to, I would prefer to adopt or foster a child to give someone another chance that may not have that opportunity in their home life. But it's, for me to have my own children, I do not want it. It's not something, and it scares me. But again, if you do want children, and I fully support anybody who does want to have their own or have someone be a surrogate, however they would like to go about it, I'm great with that. If you want to have kids, I want to help support and build up the future, because you guys are the next generation.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to touch on that, Yuki.
No, I mean, I still want kids either way, so.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. So everybody's going to
Thank
have
you for
reasons for
supporting.
wanting and not wanting children. There's no right or wrong answer to that. However, I believe that as an adult, it is a personal responsibility of mine that even though I don't have any of my own children, that I should make this world better for those who are going to succeed me, right? Like if Yuki's going to have children of her own someday, I want to ensure that what I do as a person is going to create a world that is better for Yuki's children to grow up in, right? I believe that I have that personal responsibility. So it's something that I think people should put upon themselves, and that to go out of your way to ensure that what you're leaving behind is going to be better for the persons that to succeed you. Like, I am not immortal. I will not live forever. I will not be on this planet forever. But I know that there's going to be people who will continue to exist after I am gone. And it is my personal responsibility to make sure that what I leave behind as a legacy is going to be a better foundation than what I had when I was growing up. So just going above and beyond, I think, is really important as somebody who, exists in this world and shares this world with other people. We all share this tiny blue dot together. So
This blue marble in space.
yep. I have enough trouble managing my own life. I feel that it is a very much a financial struggle. I used to love taking care of my cousin. He was so sweet, and then when he's smaller, but now he's unbearable. That's fair. I don't think I could be a dad. The fact alone, I can't do this child voice when speaking with kids. I can't talk with kids like that, and I wouldn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can go over you and be like, Daddy.
Tone of voice is a huge part of it. Like, you ever notice how people do this baby speak with their animals as well as their kids?
Why, you're so cute as you are.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
You know why we do that? Because we want to create a non-threatening situation for them, right? We want to be lighthearted and outgoing. We don't want to be overbearing and powerful with our voice.
That's right. What's up, Will? Just talk to them
Yeah.
normally.
Hey, don't treat children like animals. They're not stupid. Treat kids like humans, and they should be treated like humans. Like, I will speak softly to a child, but I'm not gonna do baby speak.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But what kind of bothers me a little bit, I think, on that, about the animal part. So, you know how whenever, like, some parents, they're like, oh, if you want a kid, take care of a dog and you'll see how it is. And I'm just like, but
No.
why are you comparing a baby to a dog?
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
different.
I guess I
Yep.
could stick them behind bars for a while for the first 2 years of their life. Put them in
Yeah.
a stroller.
No, but
Yeah, but it's like nothing related to that. It's like a dog is a dog, and compared to a human baby.
Yep, very, very different mentality. Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's like I value our non-human family members too, but
So when
they don't think in the same way that we do. Yeah,
Like I said, do make leashes for kids. So when
They
I worked
do,
at a
yeah.
Certain theme park of a certain name, they have these little backpacks, and then the tethers that go on the wrist. I'm like, oh, it's a little pet human. How cute! Aren't you precious?
Yeah, that type of mentality, like putting them on a leash, it seems like a passive way of controlling your kids because you're not giving them direction, you're just manipulating them. Like it's to keep your child with you. I think it takes a more active responsibility in communication, because the thing that I believe a parent should be doing, not to be the kid's friend, but to be somebody that they can trust and look up to and, seek out in case if there's things that go wrong. Like if the kid's trying to constantly break away, well, they're wanting to experience that freedom, but obviously you want to keep them out of danger. It's happened to me as a child. Go ahead.
I will say for the wrist leashes, they do serve a purpose. So let's say you are in a theme park and you are holding the kid's hands.
Let's say something happens and you're in a crowd and your kid gets pushed away.
Right.
You have that safety measure. That's okay. I still think the backpack leashes are hilarious, but they do serve a purpose. Again,
Yeah,
if you get
I've
separated.
seen those.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
But
cute. They look adorable.
I never grew up with like my mom putting a leash. She would try to make me teach me a lesson. Like if I wander off, she'll like go somewhere else, and then she'll like just watch me from a distance.
Oh my god!
Like to see how I would react, what would happen if I just like didn't listen to her, and I would panic. I was a kid, so I would start crying, and then she would come back like, "What did we learn today?"
There you go.
Like,
Yeah, hard lessons.
One of the things I taught kids when I was teaching 4 and 5-year-olds was about safety. We would do fire drills. They didn't require me this. I just thought it was important because we had one outside the classroom.
Right.
And I would be in the middle of a lesson like, oh, fire drill. I would just drop whatever I was doing, and they had to go 2 by 2. Or if we had an odd number, one of them was with me. And we would take turns going out the door, and we had a designated meeting spot. So teaching kids in like a routine situation, as well as important safety lessons like don't touch the birder, you will regret your life choices, things like that. But if they're like 1 year old, they're not going to understand. But yeah, if they're old enough to understand, like, okay, we're going to learn about tying your shoes and do not talk to strangers, and everybody at FurCon is awkward, things like that.
And you were going to touch up on something, Yuki? I don't know if you did.
like about like the lessons or
yeah.
like
Actually, I'm
discipline the kids.
Yeah, I'm going to touch up on something with that. Actually, because I had a similar situation happen to me, but it was a complete accident. It wasn't an intended lesson. Near the Northtown Mall, I lived nearby it. But when I was a young child, I think I was maybe 5, 6 years old. I don't know. I was a young kid. I didn't know any better. When you're an adult, malls are no big deal. You can navigate. You understand where everything is at. You know where you're at. But as a child, a mall is a labyrinth. It is enormous, right?
Yes.
You get lost and you have no idea what you're looking for. And being only 3 feet tall and everybody being taller than you, you could feel like you're lost in a forest. I was so scared that I lost my mother that, you ever get afraid to the point where you're crying and then you throw up? And that's what happened to me as a kid.
Oh,
I threw up, and a mall security guard had found me and had basically escorted me back to my mother. And Mom found me and where I was, and she was bursting into tears too. Like she didn't mean to accidentally leave me alone, like when I wandered off. And then from that moment on, that was a very difficult lesson. Don't leave your mother's side inside of a busy mall. Nowadays, that very mall, we're nearby it, is dead. There's barely anybody that goes to that mall.
Oh, did we go by that a couple years ago?
Yeah, well, the
I
Northtown
think
Mall.
we were getting Chinese food or something.
Yeah, it's a 5-minute drive from me. I can literally walk to the Northtown Mall. But yeah, that mall was basically bought out for about like $33 million or something like that. I don't know what they're planning on doing with it, but yeah, it's a lesson. So as far as children, going on to the next questions here. Atlas was asking, UK tour when? With a little sarcasm.
Lag X?
I would love to go to the United Kingdom, but I'd love to visit Poland too. I am, in fact, a smudge Polish, by the way. Yeah, I haven't been to the Northtown Mall in so long, I know. This is crazy. Hey,
I
yo.
think I'm also partly Polish as well.
Yep. Okay, so my mother's mother is Polish. So I'm a smudge Polish, but it does exist in me. I am 69.1% German and French, but there's a smudge of Polish. So let's hear just. I don't speak any Polish at all. Like Chakuya, I thanks. I don't know. I'm very bad at Polish. I suck at it.
Lagex, I have seen those backpacks. Someone was carrying a fursuit head in there with the face smushed up against
The glass or the plastic, but yeah, that would be funny putting a kid in one of those. They do sell little backpacks that you can, stick your toddler in.
I guess that counts.
Let's see, a question from Siamut. Do you like horror movies, and if so, what's your favorite? I hate horror movies with a passion. Yuck. No, thank you. And Final Destination gets a 2 middle fingers from me. I hate that movie franchise. It sucks. That's my opinion. I don't like horror movies. But if I had to choose like a Halloween type of movie, give me psychological horror, something to think about, as opposed to shock horror like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. I'm not a big fan of horror movies in general.
So I have there's 2 films I can touch on.
Some of it's kind of kitsch. The Silent
Hill film, which if you watch it, it does take some elements from the movie and some are kind of added on.
A lot of it's practical effects, and just limiting the CGI is good. But it's not necessarily a horror film, but there are some scary elements in it. Pan's Labyrinth
is also a very good fantasy/horror. Highly recommend it. If you speak Spanish, you'll be good, because I think a lot of it's captioned. But do recommend those 2 movies if you want to check those out.
Was it?
It's like, oh, goody, Spanish. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, go check it out. It takes place
in Spain during the Civil War, I think it was. So a lot of the film, I think, is primarily in Spanish with English closed captions, so you can see the subtitles. So a friend of mine, Evie, actually from Cleanup Crew, we had seen the film together, and she was like, "Oh, good, I don't have to read the subtitles," because she speaks English and Spanish.
Yeah. See, I would like to learn more Spanish because actually I get surrounded with Spanish at work quite a bit, actually. I found out like one of my manager's significant others is Hispanic. Let's see, like French and Spanish are both related as Romance languages. They're part of the Roman Empire languages.
Yes.
Along with like Portuguese and Italian. But I noticed that like say Mexican Spanish versus let's say Colombian Spanish versus Spain Spanish. They're all very different dialects of each other. And even there's different dialects within regions of them. Yep. Like some would say French.
Terms.
Just like to say how you doing in Spanish, ¿cómo estás? Right? Or ¿cómo está? Depending on the context.
But like it's
¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, because with
¿Qué pasa? Yeah. What's up?
So on like my mom's side, she's okay. So like from my Mexican side of the family, they say ¿cómo estás? But on the other side of my dad's side, which isn't from Mexico, but he speaks Spanish, he's from El Salvador. So he goes, ¿Cómo está vos?
¿Cómo está vos?
That means ¿cómo estás? But like, yeah, ¿Cómo está vos? Like, how are you? And El Salvador.
Yeah, so like,
and what context would? Oh God, sorry.
So I was just kind of making a comment on that. Just when I'm listening to the languages. When I listen to like Mexican Spanish versus say Colombian Spanish, there's clear distinct differences. Colombian Spanish to me sounds smoother, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure if I'm kind of describing it right. Yeah.
I've had Puerto Rican Spanish
described as singing, kind of having a singing cadence to it.
Yeah, and they have much of like a thicker accent, because I grew up with around my mom's friends because they came from Puerto Rico, they came from Colombia, Cuba. So like you can tell, you can tell what kind of like word terms they use. They also have like different terms of like whenever they say like bad words. So if like let's say like you say one word that is not harmless to you, but for them it's like, oh, you said a bad word.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So
Is
yeah,
that
Spanish
there's a
is
culture
different,
thing?
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
You can see that with like English, like UK English versus American English, like what's considered
yeah.
passe and what's considered a slur.
Right.
Such as a I'm not gonna say the word cigarette in just like
Yep.
English vernacular has a different
Yeah.
slang term
Mhm.
in the UK, which means something completely different in American English. I'm not gonna repeat it. You're
Oh.
welcome to Google it on your own.
I'll-
Hey, Brandy.
I'll touch up on the funny thing. My law teacher in high school was Australian, and
Nice.
so basically, in Australia, if you want to have a chalkboard eraser, they actually say, "Does anybody have a rubber?" Right? And okay, that's a chalkboard eraser. But in America, a rubber is a
you're
condom.
thinking pencil eraser.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
he was saying chalkboard eraser, but it refers to the same thing or similar things.
Oh, that's funny. Just
Eraser. Yeah,
Yep,
I always
eraser.
heard it as pencil eraser.
Yep. But
So funny thing, a pair of sandals there are called thongs.
thongs, yep, and thong here as
'Cause it-
well.
'cause it goes between-
Yeah, eh.
bathing suit attire.
Yeah. We say
and,
flip flops.
and or underwear. Yep. It's
yeah.
called a thong. Rubber mate.
Oh god, and like French and Italian, which are related to Spanish and the same family of languages. Yeah, como stai, como sta, or comment allez-vous aujourd'hui for French. It all means the same thing. Okay, does anybody remember The Matrix Reloaded? I remember
A while ago. It's been a
remember
while.
what the Merovingian said about loving the French language, and it's like wiping your ass with silk. Everything that he said in that whole line in The Matrix was basically just nothing but profanity. It was all French
Yes.
swearing, and it was hilarious. Anybody who
Oh,
who
Legacy, I'll
speaks
check it out.
French or understood French would just basically drop dead. The goose wearing sandals is a swan thong event. Oh God, Thomas.
Yes.
I like that. That's great.
Anyway, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
so to answer the questions, any other languages I want to learn? Definitely Spanish. Although I'm very bad at it. Like if I'm just saying, hey, thanks for shopping or thanks for your business, I would say something along the lines of muchas gracias por su negocio or something like that. You can say if that's right or wrong. And sometimes when I get Spanish speaking customers, they'll giggle at that, like, oh my God, he's actually attempting to speak Spanish. I don't know why people do that, but anyway, go ahead, Eric.
My favorite Spanish phrase is still "Mi pantalones es un fuego por
Oh my
ti."
God, really? Your pants are on fire. Oh,
For you, my love. That's still my favorite Spanish. phrase.
wow. Okay.
Just being goofy.
Nah,
Now do it in German.
Uh,
I'm just kidding.
only if you want.
anyhow, I'll move on to the next question here.
Next question.
Catachino, Oliver via chat. Where's the key to the safe? You think I have forgotten? I don't have a key. I have a combination lock.
Thank you, Aaron.
See, Vito Talford was asking, "What's your favorite genre?" I would say I like sci-fi. Sci-fi is a favorite genre of mine.
Oh, movies.
Yep.
I like satire. Go see the Barbie movie. I'm not sponsored.
Yeah. I want to learn Finnish. I haven't done any lessons in the past month. Oh, Finnish is fun. It's very closely related to Hungarian, actually. To say Merry Christmas in Finnish, I believe is Hyvää joulua, which is literally like Happy Yuletide, or something like that. God, I listened to songs from Roska in Finnish. Järvet jäihin. I don't remember what that translates to. Finnish is bleh. It's like talking with a hot potato in your mouth. Yeah.
I guess translate.
I remember listening to all this rock and metal in Finnish. I had an old friend of mine, his name was Patch, and he let me listen to a lot of Finnish music, so I do remember it a little bit. I'm not very good at it. Anyway.
I wish I could remember the creator's name. There was somebody who had a VR chat avatar. I think it was a let's see, it was a canine. I'm blanking on the name. So he was mentioning how Americans are obsessed with European accents, and you can literally say anything to them, and it would sound Amazing.
Mhm.
But they think their own language is
good
cringe.
to stop
Cool.
by. I do have to get off. I
Oh,
have
okay.
to eat
Okay.
and then do some stuff for work.
Oh, sure.
tomorrow,
What was
so-
the name of the creator?
Yeah. I do have the card actually.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't know
Okay,
if you can
so-
see it, but I
I
have
see it
the
just
card
spawned
in
in your
my
hand.
somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I
I don't
can't.
think I
you for
can see
popping
it,
in.
but
Yeah, I can kind of see
but
it.
yeah.
That's awesome. Very cute, by the way, and it's always good to see you,
Yeah.
Yuki. Let me give you a. Can we
Mm.
give a
I'm
shout out for
gonna
Yuki
there.
XG?
But yeah. Okay. There we go.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
Aw.
Bye, 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 bye.
Here you go. That's a hug.
And then you're
Very
playing
adorable.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was playing Assassin's Creed.
you're a sweetheart. Thanks for coming, Yuki. We love you.
Yeah. Alright. I'll
Bye-bye.
see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
So the creator, this was on like a on Twitter somewhere. I won't call it Twitter. It literally says twitter.com. So he said like you can literally say anything and it would sound amazing to them. So the guy literally said in Dutch, "Hey babe, let's go to the kitchen. Grandma's on fire." And then he translated it after.
What was you're welcome in Ukrainian? I'm just reading Google Translate here. It says Laskavo prosimo. Laskavo prosimo. Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced? Pojalsta? Pojalsta? I'm not sure if that's being...
I don't know how to write it. That's okay.
Yeah. Google Translate
it's
does not
amazing what
translate
you're
context.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, a lot of folks in in Ukraine are still struggling, so that's really awesome what you did there, Lagix. Reframing.
Yep.
There we go. And thank you for
wanna
popping
frame
in,
you
Yuki.
up.
We appreciate you.
Yes. Yuki is a sweetheart. Absolute heckin' bean.
I'm still
Alright.
flipped through the chair.
See, I can actually just move my text box chat like right about here. It can be in front of me. That's fine.
You can have a drink.
Excuse-moi.
Everybody.
Okay, so just to recap, no streams for the next 2 days. I'll have a stream on the 19th. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I need some Fortnite practice, so I might do some Fortnite offline. I want to make sure I don't come across a situation where people are coming in to play games with me and then being very angry on stream. I don't want that. Let's see. Going through some more questions. Echo Strikes asking me, what was your first voice acting gig? Oh my goodness. If you want to answer that question first, did you have a voice acting gig that you did?
I did, and it never got published. Brian was
Oh.
animating.
Gloria and asked me to say it was just a very simple, and I was like, and we're walking, and we're running, and he never animated it.
Oh.
I have done a lot of ADR.
Interviews, a lot of interviews. My favorite one was with Danny Weinkauf from They Might Be Giants. I got to learn about Audacity.
But yeah, lately it's been with Cleanup Crew and a few one-off gigs. I just did one for Slushy VR, and yeah, I want to keep pursuing stuff. I took a 10-year hiatus from acting for a little bit, mostly from anxiety, but yeah, getting back into stuff. I'll do both paid and volunteer gigs depending on what's happening. How about yourself?
So I did a project years ago. Unfortunately, it never got completed, but there is a YouTube video on the internet. So Amadia Albi, years ago, she did a story called Kaze Ghost Warrior, which is a story about a tiger who's basically finding his way, and he's basically a warrior. You might want to watch that
Is he
first. Who?
Kaze, I forgot if he was a ghost.
I don't think so, but yeah, watch the first video
worries.
first. Watch Kaze Ghost Warrior, and then there was supposed to be a sequel called Kaze Wins a Change. Unfortunately, we ran out of time when we didn't have an audio editor that was able to meet the demands, and then unfortunately things kind of fell apart. So we only have just a basic story. It was kind of sad because Amadia and her husband are absolute sweethearts. I haven't spoken to them in a long time. But
yeah, I haven't heard from them either, but she's a very talented singer.
Yeah. I did some roles for them. You might be able to hear me. I actually did the announcer. I was the announcer voice, and then I was one of the characters, Tyrrell. Not related to Tyrrell Elias, but I did Tyrrell on Kaze Wins a Change. So there was a YouTube video that you guys would be able to see that, and
Oh yeah.
I had a lot of fun. That was actually really cool. So that was one of my first voice acting gigs. I wanted to get
You
more
can,
into it down the road. What's that?
Oh, I just thought of something. So I did I helped out the NCAS folks, and so I am an opossum that's in a punk rock band. So it was what is her name? Shoot, Petal. Her name is Petal. She's an opossum. I was animated in Blender.
Nice.
So that's fun. So do you have any recommendations for folks that want to get into acting? Not just specifically voice acting, but acting.
Okay, so as far as the voice acting thing goes, look up D. Bradley Baker's I Want to Be a Voice Actor.com. If you want,
I mean acting, like being a performer for acting.
So basically it's kind of like you got to find out who to talk to with that type of stuff. You got to get out there. Sometimes your path to becoming an actor will start small. Look for any roles, any gigs, any small events. Get your foot in the door type of thing. Look on services like Backstage, for example. Up on like Facebook, there's also programs that you can get. Sometimes they need fillers. They need like small roles. You're brief in and out. And if you can make an impression as an actor, they might push you up to different roles. Look for stage performances. Look for other types of stuff. Look for like volunteer opportunities to get your voice out there. And if you really like doing that type of stuff, just kind of get a feel for things. Sometimes it just boils down to internet research. We have a multitude of tools available to us now to find paths to that. It may just start as a Google search result, or it may look at the classifieds in the local newspaper, things like that. Or talk to other people that you know and see if there's anything out there. Eventually, if you do start growing as an actor, once that ball starts rolling, it will start rolling fast. And you may end up needing to hire an agent to assist you with finding you roles to apply for and making sure that you get paid and don't get ripped off.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever done an appearance where you have to memorize lines?
Thankfully, no. I am bad at memorization. It can take me a long time to memorize stuff. Like memorizing lines, reading over it, reading it again, and doing the scene over and over again. But there is something to be said about like remembering lines. There are certain cases where a director might want you to memorize a line word for word and speak it exactly as he wants it. And then sometimes there's feel free to work around the words and add a little bit of improv depending upon the situation, where they might kind of appreciate the actor side coming out of you, because you have to act before you can be a voice actor. The acting comes first. Doesn't matter what kind of voices you make. Doesn't matter what kind of impersonations you can make. That doesn't matter like at all. They don't care about that. If they like your voice, they might match you up with something that might fit your character, or a character might fit you. Because remember, you are in very little control of what parts that you get when you're applying for something. The director might ask you, "Oh, hey, show me what you can do," or "Here, read this line for me. Do it in this way," and then they'll decide what parts that are fit for you. Like when we're,
I'm reminded of Phil Lamar. Are you familiar with him?
Yep, he worked with Futurama quite a bit, I believe, and then a lot of other roles.
He said he wished he could put as his job title professional auditioner.
Yeah, there's something
For
to be said
saxes.
about that. You were doing auditions all the time. This is what gigs do, gig jobs. Can I address something? People think the industry is rich. Is that a made-up lie? Very little of that industry is rich.
Yeah.
All these
I am
name,
not rich.
yeah, all of these big name actors that you hear up on screen, like Keanu Reeves, for example, Chris Hemsworth, or let's just say, a handful of other actors. Who would say? Well, whatever. I can't come up with a bunch of names, but they are just a fragment of the number of actors that are out there, right? And a lot of times, sometimes the actors fade into obscurity, like Robert Downey Jr. Sometimes if you get typecasted is basically when you're constantly fit in a specific role all the time, no matter what you're doing, and you're only remembered for that role. Actors are not their characters, right? How many of you can remember off the top of your head who the voice actor is for Lisa Simpson on The Simpsons? I guarantee you, not many do, right? Let's see. Even I have to look this up because I don't remember, but I do know of her.
I will say my friend Cheryl is Angelica, because if you hear her voice, like, she is it, and she collects a ton of Angelica stuff. I'm like, you are Angelica. The actor for Dolores from Encanto, she was cosplaying herself at Ichiban Con, so I just kept calling her Dolores the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Because she was her.
So Lisa Simpson is voiced by Yeardley Smith.
Yep. Yardley. Is Yearly or Yardley?
Hey, Jonas, garlic bread. It's your local garlic bread man. Here, have some garlic bread. You're welcome. Thank you. I like garlic bread.
Oh.
Garlic bread is awesome.
I love garlic bread. Dude,
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Bread makes you fat.
Wait, bread makes you fat?
Yeah, apparently.
They need to put that in the cartoon version. What brings you in? Thanks for popping in there.
90% of the Simpsons characters are done by
Dropping
6 people.
ketchup,
Yeah.
you heathen.
Why would you put...
Heathen.
All right,
Aaron.
you know what? I'm not even going to judge Aaron for dipping garlic
No.
bread in ketchup, but I fear Italians will probably roll in their graves hearing that.
I will not judge your fetish. Sorry.
I don't remember her
Slash
name, but I
obsession.
remember her in the Stephen King on Cocaine Bender movie classic Maximum Overdrive. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my
Jeez.
gosh. Cocaine.
Apparently...
I do cocaine accessories.
Wow. Apparently Giovanni Samuels made a
I'm kidding.
TikTok video talking about how she wasn't getting paid. Oof. Yeah.
That's annoying.
There's a lot of very underpaid actors, sadly. They deserve a lot more, honestly. But
Support unions. Just saying.
speaking of characters, oh, mamma mia. I love Jonas already. Welcome on in, Jonas. I hope you have a good time. Baxter Raccoon asking me, who is your favorite fictional character? Why don't you answer this one, Eric?
That's like picking my favorite child.
I
don't
know, it's bad. Just think of one at random.
Can I have admiration for tall, handsome lions?
Anyway,
As for actual commercial type characters, I don't know.
I'll get back to me on that. You first.
okay, I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, but it might surprise people to know that Sonic the Hedgehog is not my favorite fictional character. Of that particular universe,
Favorite character.
Princess Sally Alicia Acorn. I loved her character because she was strong, she was courageous, she was intelligent. She always had this computer in her pocket, Nicole, and she would always think outside the bounds. And the fact that she held the princess title despite her parents being gone kind of confused me. And
You're still a princess.
yeah, well, if the parents somehow disappear or pass away, the title of royalty would go from princess to queen, to my understanding. But anyway, I believe Sally Acorn is one of my personal favorite fictional characters. She is adorable, half chipmunk, half squirrel. How does that work? It shouldn't, but for some odd reason, that's how it is. But anyway.
So I thought of two. So kind of along the lines of that.
Penny from Inspector Gadget, if you're familiar with that. It was actually a
Yes.
French cartoon, imported in America. I think Dick, that name flashed during the credits. I think they were the distributor. But she was cool. She was inventive. She was the support for her uncle, who I'm blanking on his voice name. Later on, that was Maurice LaMarche, but the original actor was from
Get Smart, and I'm blanking on his name.
Oh
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
see, Inspector.
Don something. Somebody Google it for me, please.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
I'm a puppet on the internet right now. Sorry to break the fourth wall. Another character I like, and I can watch this film at any point because the music slaps in it, is Spirit from Spirit of the Cimarron.
Is it Don Adams? No.
Don Adams, thank you very much. Good actor, very talented guy. He passed away some time ago, but very funny actor, and he was Inspector Gadget. He just embodied him. He was perfect. Again, that was redubbed in English. But Spirit was also very good. Let's see, who was the animator? James Baxter worked on it. Classic. This guy's my animation hero, among a few others. But beautifully animated. I thought he was a very smart character, very expressive, and the character, you can hear the thoughts. Everybody was telepathic, but no one spoke except for the humans in the film. So you're able to emote and tell a story through body language, and I just thought it was a very well-made film. So I do like that character. He's just a horse. Do you guys know a cartoon called Once Upon a Time in Life? I don't know if I've seen that. Gosh. I will say, going back and rewatching The Little Mermaid, that was surreal. Go ahead.
I have no idea. I think Sally was supposed to be Sonic's love interest in the comics before Amy became a thing. It's been so long since I've been in that world. Here's why you don't see those characters anymore. And I'm just going to sum it up in 2 words, and we're not going to speak any more of it. Ken Penders.
Oh boy, he is both a hero and the anti-hero at the same time.
Yeah, sorry.
Ken Penders.
The characters are now very much stained, in my opinion.
Yes, Google Ken Penders if you would like some interesting information. Have a nice drink while you do it. Except for Justin, he'll have some apple cider.
Someone had a very interesting question. I wanted to approach this succinctly. What makes you feel the most loved? Validation. And it's kind of an odd answer to the question, but knowing what I do matters to people makes me feel loved. So when I get that feedback from people that say, hey, I care about what you do, especially you, Eric, because that actually does help me feel a lot better. That reciprocation,
Yes.
was that?
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you, guys.
Oh yeah, reciprocation, validation, acknowledgement. Sometimes I feel like the proverbial child, desperately looking for the attention of their parents. Say, hey, look what I can do, right? And the feeling of being ignored or rejected has always been a fear in the back of my mind. And imposter syndrome is a thing, and it sucks so hard.
You do that. You'll look at without TMIing or info dumping. You'll sometimes
Look at things like, this is data information and this is how it reflects on me. It doesn't. There's a freaking convention going on right now. There might be somebody having a birthday celebration. Yeah, traffic happens. I don't know how many of you guys are in the audience, and if you're lurking, thank you very much. We appreciate you too. Do things because you like to create and share, and people will reciprocate. And yes, you are valid. I will validate the shit out of you.
This is an 18+ stream.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and fear of rejection is a common fear that a lot of people have.
I talked to John DiMaggio. I think I got his name correct. I'm so sorry. The guy who plays Bender on Futurama.
Yeah, John DiMaggio.
He's okay. Very nice guy. It was at a convention, but we talked for a few minutes.
Or is it Joe DiMaggio?
Setting.
I think it's Joe DiMaggio.
Is it Joe? Mr. DiMaggio. Very nice guy. And one of the best advice he's ever, and it wasn't directed at me, it was when he was talking before we were hanging out for a little bit. Very nice guy again. I have not seen him in a few years, but he said that, what's up?
I'm going to look it up because Joe DiMaggio is a baseball player. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's John DiMaggio. Thank you.
Are they related?
One of the things he told, I don't know. One of the things he told
John
his audience
DiMaggio.
is,
Yeah, John DiMaggio. That is
John.
yeah. Okay.
It's, John DiMaggio, very nice guy. And he almost didn't end up what he's doing. He opted to take an audition for something instead of staying behind. I don't remember. I think he was in Hawaii, but he told somebody in his audience while giving a talk, "I want you to say a couple words," and then he cut them off. And he said, if you can't handle being told no,
again and again, you should not be an actor. You should not be in this.
Yep.
You should not be afraid to take rejection and just keep working on it. Even if you're perfect for what you're doing, it may not be what the actor needs. I can't talk
Or the
about this
director,
publicly, but you gave me an example of a role where you were offered it, but you personally didn't feel like you fit that. And it works vice versa. The director may not like it. So again, this is with anything, whether you're job hunting, being an actor, creating stuff. I sell things at conventions and online. People may like it, but they may not buy it. Don't be afraid of being told no. Don't be afraid to be just, don't let it get to you. It's not against you personally. So yeah, if you feel like, let's say your numbers aren't where you want it to be, it's not against you. It's not that people don't like what you're doing. So yeah, I'll validate the shit out of you. I don't care. I mean, I care, but it's okay to not take stuff personally. Hi, Jane. Why are people giving me so many requests today? So I have to accept this too. Things may not be where you want it to be in life, and you grasp for straws sometimes. Not you personally, but in general. A friend of mine, I had to tell him flat out, and I've known him for many decades. You are fishing for compliments. He wanted me to compliment him on his hair. That was one of the things, and I'm like, you are feeling self-conscious. You are you want to be told you're doing something right because you feel like you're not. And yeah, validation is a thing because you want to feel like I'm not just wasting what I do. Should I just stop?
Yeah.
And I feel like that sometimes for myself for what I do.
Feels like imposter syndrome sometimes, which hits really hard. I did
What
mistake.
Right here?
Yeah. Off topic, I did mistake Joe DiMaggio for John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio is the voice actor.
Yeah,
Joe
it is
DiMaggio
John.
is the baseball player. Sorry
Hi,
about
John.
that.
You'll never see this, but hi.
Anywho, going on to the questions on Blue Sky. So we got a little.
I didn't know if you
actually.
want me to continue.
Oh no, because we're running out of time. I'm gonna choose somebody to raid. I'm gonna couple of quick more questions here, and then I'll let folks know. See, favorite TV show for me, it's Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's been one of my favorite TV shows for a long time. What's yours?
I actually don't watch TV. I the closest thing is Twitch.
Would you like me to meet me in VRC, says Bile Gods? I said I would love to. In time. I have not been in VRC in a while. Zed Girl says, what is the best kind of cheese? I like brie. Deep fried brie. So nummy.
You know what's really good?
What's that?
Brie,
Granny Smith apple on some baguette.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds good.
Or with a burger. You can do burger. Chicken
And-
patty. You
and-
can do that.
The last question from Tristan the Dino. We love Tristan. What a sweetheart. Says, what is your favorite game? I said, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Knuckles. It's my old favorite classic. We all experienced that at times. Yeah. Thanks for the
I
headpats. Here you go.
have Rocco's Modern
Life.
Rocco's Modern Life for the SNES. That is one of my favorite games. If they ever have that available on Steam, I will stream it. I'll be like the first person to stream. Like, don't care about VR chat anymore. We're doing this now. This is priority. I can also touch on your previous question if you want.
Which previous question?
What is it that makes you feel good about what you do or something like that? I don't remember what the actual question was.
The fact that we got a level 4 hype train today, almost into a level 5, just makes me really happy.
Yeah, that was poggers.
Because here's what's so difficult right now. It's like, yeah, everybody's kind of. I'm looking at all the channels right now. Everybody's viewers are down right now because there's a lot of people who
It's
are
fine.
out vacationing in conventions. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's true.
choose to raid somebody, and you might know them. Let's see, Tokyozilla is an absolute sweetheart.
Oh, hey!
Let's see you.
Neo.
Let's see. Yep, Neo. And currently they're doing some art, so we're gonna raid them. No streams for the next 2 days. I'm gonna be back on the 19th. We'll probably do more of these in the future. I recommend Chuck. It's a great TV series. It's actually a realistic character and relationship
Oh, yes,
developments.
I've heard.
All right. And again, thanks to Photographer and Yuki XG for coming on in. Eric, thank you for joining me today. We're going to do more of
Oh,
these in the
absolutely.
future, do some preparations.
I love them.
See you on the 19th, and as always, no matter who you are or where you come from, you are valid and you're loved. Let me... I'm going to cancel that raid because that was not spelled correctly. I think it's 3 L's. Yeah, 3 L's.
Yeah, it's a weird spelling. But, yeah, TLDR on the thing I was asked.
There
Doing
we go.
something selfish for someone else without,
There we go. That's the correct channel.
expecting it.
That's the correct channel. All right, I'll see you folks again. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Bye-bye. Let's see what they say.
Absolutely. Oh, I have to turn the volume on for that.
I won't
1 second.
maintain on admitting that. Lilo the Stitch 16